Happy New Year! 2022. It begins. What? What do you mean the fake New Year?
Oh, if you ask a taxman, they'll disagree with you.
Oh, when's the New Year? April?
Oh, what, 23rd, 25th of March? That's when the tax year ends.
You make it so difficult just to say Happy New Year. Can't say Happy New Year without getting into a debate. How are you doing? Have you just arrived?
Yeah.
It's just having a debate.
Huh?
Fight's already begun.
Yeah.
We all know this fight. Islam means peace and Islam means peace. And I quoted a few verses. I asked them, can you quote me a verse of peace? And they couldn't quote them verses of war.
All you haters of the true Muslims.
It goes in one ear and comes out the next.
No, but here's the thing, you know what you should do? This is the problem that we have at the moment, you know, with the Dawah they're doing. So what they're doing is they're trying to say that Islam's original peace. And here's the problem.
Islam means peace.
That's your religion.
Yes,
No, it doesn't mean surrender or something.
that's Muslim.
That's what your religion is.
What it submits is the Muslim.
Yeah.
So Islam means surrender or submission. It doesn't mean peace. And it doesn't come from the root word peace. It comes from the root word surrender or submit.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
And it's... Go on.
No, I was just going to say, the problem is that, see how things are happening in Afghanistan. Now, if the caliphate took over in a European country when they're doing the Dawah, do you really think those Dawah Muslims are going to stop the caliph from doing his stuff?
They wouldn't be able to anyway.
That's the
the
point.
law of the land.
Yeah, so then why are they coming saying it's peace when they know if they took over, all the scholars will come with all the hadiths and say that they have to enforce all these things. And they won't be able to say anything. So that means you can tell the Dawah people are lying.
Also, the behaviour of the companions when the Prophet died. First of all, they go to war with anyone who goes to leave. Or goes back to that old way. Then they fight each other. Then they fight their neighbours.
Yeah.
Explain why Umar's army are in Persia, by the Middle East, North Africa and East Africa. You know what I mean? He's not there to give charity. He's fighting. Just the behaviour of the people shows that. I mean, he didn't send his armies there to help them out. There's so many ways in which you can dispel
All they
actually is just they just say it and that's it.
And the thing is, if you're born into it and you've been told all these stupid lies by your imams and all the people, you're actually going to believe it. But if you read the book, you're not going to believe it. If you read, once I read the life of Muhammad, anyone who reads that cannot come up with any of the garbage they come up with.
But here's the thing though, I still think that the Muslims, they it's partly because they agree with it, because like when I read,
No, they do agree. They do agree.
yeah, because you're like Lisa, you know, the one who died in early 2020. Remember, he used to come round here, he used to come here. Yeah.
I challenge anyone
Actually,
to come and challenge.
I read in the hadith the one about the, you know, the man that sells his slave. And he basically said that if the Prophet allowed it, he allowed it. So he actually would, even that kind of a murder, if the Prophet said it was okay, he would agree with it.
And the worst thing about that, I mean, that shows, I mean, to me, that's a good Muslim. A bad person, but a good Muslim. A good Muslim is not a good person.
No.
Yeah, but it just shows, if you look back at the story, the Prophet wasn't even there to hear the insult.
Yeah,
the man murders her for insulting him. He tells her, I murdered her because you was hurting your feelings when you were around. And he tells him, and he says, no punishment to do to the man, and no consequences.
Yeah.
No warning, no. I mean, if you're the best man of all time, if I said to you, I killed my wife because she insulted you, wouldn't you say, no, don't do that? I understand your love for me, but don't do that. It's wrong.
No.
It's wrong, man. He wasn't even there to hear the insult. That's the worst thing about it.
Right,
Oh, you're going on to the trip?
back to uni in Manchester.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I thought you was just going there. I thought you had a lot of cash in there.
Oh no, I wish.
Yeah, I think you stole the money and you're taking it for home.
For some reason, there's more people there than usual.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect all of this.
Yeah, no. I know, but last week was New Year and it wasn't.
Yeah, okay, was it busy?
No, well, not that busy. I mean, I think Ali Dar was the only one that turned up, kind of.
Okay. It's nice cold.
Yeah.
Easy, man, easy. It was all right.
Sorry?
Are we still right? Are we still okay?
Yeah, of course. No, that's your fault, you know. But you sometimes make me angry. You sometimes you don't allow me to speak, and you make me repeat myself again and again. You're trying to?
I'm trying to make your point clear to myself.
Okay. So, what happened with Tan? Yeah. Where is he now? Malaysia? No one heard from him or anything? We got out of all this or what?
He was quite entertaining.
He was.
What I noticed is that the Muslims, they still seem to be trying to avoid certain Christians.
If you know about it, if they find you know too much, then they don't want to debate.
Yeah.
Mate.
Yeah.
Devil's advocate is a really interesting way of debating the
No. Who is the only true God after Jesus? Take it into who? No. Who's the only one? Don't take it into who? No. He Glory fire down me with the glory. Let's put the country down in Google. I don't have to Google. I know about it. Yeah, but let's say I'm going to open you down me with the glory which I had. Before he was here. Jesus. Who was alive before he was born? Jesus. Now get that right.
No, wait.
Let's be clear about what a woman does as a householder. She looks after children. In fact, that brings me perfectly on to my next point. No, it's my mate's one. Yeah, you're right.
Nobody in the world. None whatsoever. Look at putting it down. None whatsoever. I agree.
So, let's know you want money to come in. Let's leave it at that, right? I'll get it at that this time. Why? Hello! And exactly who knows what's now? The animals are your bullshit! He's prepared to spread his bullshit! He's prepared to spread his bullshit! Animal lovers! Animal lovers! Rapists! Pedophiles! Pedophiles! Murderers! Rapists!
I hope they keep it safe. Hopefully they don't come to I know they haven't.
It's about Jesus being alive before he was born. No, the Father who ordered no, read the next one. Read the next one. I'll read it. And now, Father, glorify thou me.
Well, no, it will not defile you, but we don't encourage cannibalism. See, when this is an interesting point. He's saying he's read the New Testament and the Old Testament. And then he's caught me in a corner there. He said, I said, you can eat anything. I said, aha, human blood. There's a clever mind working. That's why we have the church. Because if you've just got the Bible, you could quite rightly say, Victor, you've got me checkmated there. I cannot say no. I'm prohibited from eating human blood. But if I go to the church, which Jesus established, and it says to me, you can't eat human blood, then I know I can't eat human blood. Or drink, I should say. Or put it in there, some black pudding.
Paul says, like he says, if a brother does not eat meat, do not put a stumbling block over for him to stumble over.
Okay.
One man esteems one day like Christmas, I don't see it. And for one day, don't put a stumbling block, accept it as it is. But don't go deliberately eat something in front of your brother, knowingly that he can't eat it. Like me, David. So you need to say, okay, this brother doesn't eat pork, so I am not going to eat pork because he doesn't eat it.
That's clean. Yeah, that's prudence. That's being fair to your neighbour. But the key point in Paul is that you can eat any of this stuff.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Any of this stuff.
You believe the science? I'm sorry about my language.
Science?
Yeah, okay, you believe the science? Okay. Science proves that they are eating, by the way. They prove that pork is not good for the human being.
Who did? You have to verify.
This is a science proof that. But if you don't want to get the knowledge about it, go educate yourself.
Okay.
And there is a lot, millions of those sites to prove that.
Okay.
So, are you trying to gather all the Christians?
So we've got all these butchers.
Okay. So when you said that,
and they're giving us
people in the West have the greatest longevity and the best health of all people in the world.
Pork is not good for
Correct? We have extremely long lives compared to other people in the world. I mean, there are pockets. Of course, obese people, we have them as that problem. But the general rule is, this is the healthiest part of the world to be in. We eat pork all over the West. So how is it that we have better longevity than people in the Muslim countries who don't eat pork?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
They have a lot of diabetes in the Middle East.
Why is it? We have you're not going to try and say that people in Pakistan, Bangladesh, and other parts of the Muslim world have better health outcomes than we do, are you?
I'm asking
so my point is, if you're right about pork being unhealthy for you, it's not showing up in the statistics. Now that doesn't mean you're wrong. I just would need you to bring some data to me, and I could look it up. What?
If I'm wrong, you don't believe that science.
You know, I'm saying that you're telling us it's science. I'm saying that what we know is we eat pork. All of us Westerners eat pork, and we're not suffering from it. I know, and so am I. I'm talking about the West versus the Muslim world, and we live longer and healthier than people in the Muslim world, which doesn't generally eat pork. Therefore, this is odd.
The high society saying the Western more than the other countries because eating pork.
No, I'm simply saying that we eat pork. Listen, we eat vast amounts of pork. We eat mountains of pork in the West. It should be affecting us.
People commit to society. Maybe.
All right, Fred. Listen, if you bring something in detail, it'll be very interesting to look at. You know. All right. Don't think today we're getting anywhere. I don't think we're getting any further with it because I'm going to carry on.
If you go to the higher rate of committed society, you see in the Western world. So maybe the pork.
Maybe it's the pork. Yeah, absolutely. It's not to do with the stress, the financial difficulties.
I'm gonna carry on eating pork because you know we have had very strong health bodies in the UK and other parts of Europe for over 100 years. And if you want to say that they're letting us eat this meat after so long, we got to discuss. You're saying that, then I'm a monkey's uncle. Now we were saying we were having a typey discussion because I was saying in Quran 1886 it says the sun sets in the muddy pool, and you were not happy with me saying that, and you were going to tell me off about it.
Yeah.
Face to face.
Catch you another thing.
About it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala
revealing the message that the warrior himself have seen the sun setting as when we go to, for example, to the shore, we can see the sun setting down in the sea. And the fact is, there's other verses of the Quran talk about it, that like Surah Yasin, that the moon and the sun, they are floating and swimming in orbit, and they don't set in the stream. But the verses about the warrior, as he's seeing it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned it. And there is two kind of verses in the Quran. Verses which basic, decisive verses, and another one is similar. It carry two meanings, and this is one of them. Will you allow me just to pick up, because I write it down?
I'll just say one point and then I'll let you go, just
Okay.
to respond to that. Here it says, 1886 of the Quran, until, and this is Allah speaking, until when he reached the
When
setting
he-
of the sun. Now,
yeah.
this is not the point where it's talking about setting yet.
Okay.
Just when he reached.
Yeah.
So Allah is saying he did reach
Okay.
the place of
Carry
the
on,
sun
carry
setting.
on.
Now, firstly, my point about that would be, that clause, would be that the sun does not set in a place. So you cannot reach a place where the sun sets. That's the first point.
Okay.
Then Allah goes on to say he found it setting in a body of dark water. So Allah is telling us that Dulqarnain, the warrior, found the sun setting in a body of water. Again, that is not possible.
Yeah,
So that's my next question.
This is what I said.
And the third clause is, and Allah is telling us, and he found the sun near a people. Well, the sun is no nearer one people than another.
Exactly.
So again, that's the third clause, which is problematic. And so that was my argument.
Yeah.
It isn't actually correct. If Allah is talking about what he's saying, Allah is telling us what he knows,
Okay.
not what Dulqarnain is seeing.
This is when
you
I
don't understand very well, I'm
hold on
sorry.
a second. This is what I said, because in chapter 3, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying the Quran being revealed with some basic decisive verses tell you the exact, and the other one, and those people who inclined to disbelief, they will rely on the similar, the one not decisive. So what do? We go back to the decisive, which
And
Allah
use them as the
subhanahu wa ta'ala
basis.
talk about the sun and its orbit, and the sun. This is why I want to go there to give you the exact.
Oh, I'm not going, don't worry. I'll be here when you come back.
No,
But
no,
Yahya,
I'm gonna get
alright,
it from
the
there.
point
bro.
about decisiveness versus non-decisive verses is, I mean, the Quran itself doesn't speak of these two kinds of verses, though, does it?
Yeah, it does.
Where does the Quran say
this
there's
is,
decisive and
okay,
indecisive?
Chapter 3,
Yeah.
open it. Open chapter 3.
And that speaks of two kinds of verses.
Yeah, and give it to me. I will.
Oh, yeah, go on. Thanks.
I was going to say, you got an unfortunate translation.
It's a pocket one. It's very handy for carrying around, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't match the Arabic, what you just read.
I do know it's not exactly one that we would say is the best to use for accuracy.
Yeah.
But it is handy and pocket sized.
Yeah.
And so I'm very practical.
That's the miracle. God keep it as in Arabic so it not become million of Bibles. One Surah.
Yeah, that's another argument, isn't it?
So-
We're not getting onto that yet.
Say, friend, I'm English, so how could I
3-7,
understand it?
You
I've got to rely on
understand it,
you.
You understand
You've
it
sent
by
down to you,
translated-
Mohammed, the book.
Translated.
In
By
its
who?
verses
You're
that
the
are
same
precise.
Muslims like
No,
you.
no,
They're the
translated
foundation
by
of the book,
who?
and others
Not
unspecific.
By who?
Yeah,
As for those
translated.
in whose heart
They
is
are.
deviation,
These are all translations.
they will
Okay.
follow that
They're
according
your
to
Muslim
specific,
translations.
seeking
Yeah,
discourse
okay,
and
but
seeking
but you can
interpretation
make it, you can
suitable
make
to
it
them,
many
and no one knows its
translated
true
until you get the
interpretation
right thing.
except Allah.
So that God
Those
keep
firm
it
in knowledge
the
say
same
we
word
believe in it.
Arabic,
All
so
this
you
is
can
from our
translate
Lord,
it
and no
in
one
the-
will be reminded except
in the
those
way
understanding.
which
That's
is
very
really
interesting.
logical.
So we have two kinds of.
You mean,
what do we do
you mean the
to,
way
to
that most of you
remove the
Muslims
doubt
like
of
it?
the
Anyway,
verses
God
which
tell
is
us
not
about
clear?
people
We
who
go
doesn't
to
believe.
other
So
verses
that means
because
they have ears
explain
they don't want to
itself.
hear.
And
They have
there's
eyes they don't want to
another,
see.
please, brother.
That's
There's
so-
another verses which talk about that the sun itself floats in orbit and does not set. We all know does not set. But according to us, because this is why I give the example, if you are by the sea and we look, we can see that it's going down, but for us, the way we see it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why this difference is a test for the believer and non-believer, because the non-believer will rely on the one which doubtful to back themselves, and the one which are believers, they will seek knowledge from other books.
I understand the point you're making. However, the question is, who decides which verses are precise and which are unspecific? Because here's what I'm getting at.
Nice.
A precise verse will be this.
Yeah.
You shall not kill an innocent person. It is also precise, you shall kill whoever you feel like. They're both precise, but they contradict. I'm not saying the Quran says that. Now, the statement that the sun is in orbit is a precise statement. The statement that Dulkarnain saw the sun setting in a place in the muddy pool is specific as well. My problem is, an unspecific verse would be one should be nice. Full stop. That's not specific about who you should be nice to. So we have seen, it seems to me, two precise statements. The precise statement about the orbit and the precise statements that I've quoted about Dulkarnain and the sun setting. So this, though this is extremely interesting, it doesn't resolve the question since they're two precise statements. And then the question further is, as I said, who is to decide which are specific and unspecific anyway?
Now you can rely on the intellect to differentiate between, is it possible that God say two verses contradicting itself, one decisive that the sun is floating in a specific orbit, and does it confirm that the sun set in the muddy? So the muddy one is not decisive, and this is why we need to take the one which more logical and go according to the sound judgment of the intellectual people, because Quran wants you to reflect upon what you're reading, not to accept anything. And as we mentioned, that God telling us about the man reaching the sunset of a place and he see it set, but to be honest, that when he reached the place of the sunset, he see it sitting in the muddy or water or behind the mountain or anything. But the fact is that the sun is far away from certain place, so there's no logic to say they're sitting, because the other verses continues when he reaches where is raised, where it's risen, he found the people have no boundary between themselves and they. So there was no mountain, it's like a flat place. And as you said, if the sun is too close to those people, it will burn them. And we know that the sun is far away from us. So just to reflect upon this, and this is the test for the believer and non-believer to how to approach this kind of verses.
Well, I actually think that the point about the sun, you reach the place where the sun is near a people who have no shelter. The mountains wouldn't be the shelter because the sun at noon is directly above everybody.
We are talking about.
So I don't think that helps these verses. To me, these verses on their own are irrational. They're mistaken, erroneous. That's to me. You've given me the verse about the orbit, which is not as irrational, because you can speak about the sun being in an orbit, but you can speak about the sun going in an orbit across the sky. Doesn't to me rule out the possibility of a primitive people thinking it nonetheless sets in a place at the base of the earth. But the verse that you took me to about specific and unspecific verses, I think that there is a problem with what you've taken me to, that Allah would say there are some verses which are unspecific in his book, which is his final book. If it's his final book, we need all the verses to be precise. And not unspecific.
But
that doesn't apply, I think, to these verses we're talking about anyway.
The book itself as I mentioned, is a test for believer and non-believer, because the believer will read the verse and reflect upon it, and the non-believer will read the verse and take it the way his desire and his intellect want.
Yes.
So to deny the truth. This is why I said I will actually, when you upload the video, I will write in the comments and try to explain myself better more. I don't know
right.
if I have it, because today I was looking at it and I note down the verse is talking about the sun orbit, the moon orbit, and that they are floating and each and its own orbit, because they don't join together, the sun and the moon. And we know the movement of the sun of the moon actually brings night and day, and it's specific for us to reflect upon the time as well, because we rely on the sun for the day and the moon at the end, the calculation of days.
Yes, but you know, when you said this is a test for the believer and the unbeliever, but there is a possibility, of course,
which is
that the unbeliever has realised by looking at the book that it contains these problems, and that the unbeliever is right and the believer is in fact ignoring the problems and glossing over them. Now, it doesn't mean that the Muslim is in fact the wrong one. It may be that the non-Muslim is the wrong one. But you see, the fact that the book says it's a test for the unbeliever and the believer doesn't mean that the unbeliever is the one who's in the wrong.
Fair enough. With this, there's God and the Quran talk about many different topics. It's not only talking about this issue. So if, for example, somebody wants to deny this about the sun, there's God talk about, for example, when for example, if a person going in high altitude, he will be out of breath. And 1400 years ago, people would not know that when you go up higher in the sky, you will be out of oxygen, and it will be stressful for you. So talk about, for example, the sea and its inner wave, and there's darkness over darkness. Even the Prophet, peace upon him, never sailed over. Talk about how God creates us, where we come from, and that we, during the stages, we go and whoop in the darkness till we go out as a baby, know nothing, and we grow up and learn.
You know, those who look at this find the Arabic a bit ambiguous, and that translations into modern English or French or German then put in there words which support the idea of there being scientific information in the Quran, whereas there's no indication that Muslims had a scientific advance over non-Muslims from the alleged science in the Quran over the centuries. But when we look at, say, for example, the idea that the embryo passes through various stages, many see that as reflecting Galenic science and not modern science. So, for example, take the idea that there's that the human embryo goes through the stage of being a blood clot, the alaka. This is not. There's no stage where the embryo is a blood clot.
What I'm saying is, like, first we need to know that the Quran it's not a medicine or medicine book, and it gives you a hint to reflect upon, and it's telling you, like, you need to go to the origin, that the sperm actually is coming from a fluid gushing from the backbone of the man.
I'm glad you raised
and
this.
Yes, and I have actually a link that which prove that it's all related. The backbone of the person, it's responsible about the formation of the individual, and I will pass you the link as well.
That would be really interesting, because, you know, the general view is that the fluid is created in the testes of the male,
yes,
nowhere near the backbone.
Yes.
And so, and everything I've read doesn't give an indication that it comes from the fluid that creates the sperm is in the backbone. So I'll wait for your
I will
information
pass
on
you
this.
the link because I find it very interesting, because when people talk about that we are collected from the backbone of a man and come, by the way, you know, when in the Arabic word we say like he have weak back, if he, for example, he have early ejaculation, and some people maybe they can last for 15 minutes, some people they come they have premature ejaculation, and we say that he is like weak back.
I've never heard that phrase, but I'll let you know those phrases.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, and it makes me reflect as well, because anyways, the link is very useful because it is scientific related study about the relation between the bones and the formation of the body as a whole. Anyway,
Yahweh, this is fascinating because, you know, of course, I've not read everything that Muslims say about science in the Quran, nor have I read everything that people who've contradicted that who say. But at the moment, and you'll be an interesting source for me. At the moment, I don't believe a word of it, but I'm open to be interested in what you have to say. But there's funny things as well. There's funny things that we can discuss, not just heavy stuff. You know how in the Quran, chapter 2, verse 282, it says that a woman, when she gives evidence in court, should have another woman to back that evidence up. Now, when I say that's funny, I only say it's funny. It's serious, but I only say it's funny in the sense that these are most interesting things, especially in our times. What would you say about that? Do they need other women, whereas we men don't need other men to back our evidence
one
up?
man and two women, it says. Because if you read the context, it says if one woman, she forgets, the other one might remind her.
Yes.
So
we could all benefit from that. There was men as well.
Yeah, but
women forget more.
You know, accordingly, a man always, it seems that he is in a position of, as the Bible says, that he is the one who leads.
Yes, the Bible does say, yes. He's the head.
He's the head of the woman.
Yes, in marriage.
In marriage and everything, actually, the man is the head of women. And Quran, by the way, makes them as equal partner, but give more. As he's a head, he is the one who has to be the breadwinner and the one who are responsible for everything as a provider. And this is the difference between a man and a woman. For example, no woman will come and ask the family to marry her husband, but a man will bring his family to the family of a woman and ask for her hand. It's never the other way around. The man is always...
You and I would not be in disagreement about the modern world in that sense. However, because as I say in marriage the man is the head of the woman, and father's the head of his sons and daughters and his family. But I was talking about the court situation.
If a woman witnessed a crime, she couldn't witness it on her own.
No,
this is what we're talking about. What we're getting into, the implications. If a woman has another woman, that can count as valid evidence. But if she's on her own, the point is that wouldn't count validly. Whereas a man's evidence on its own would. And although a man could be the head of his wife, I don't see how that means that a woman's evidence isn't equal to a man's in court.
The context here is about when there is a specific deal being struck between two people. If there is no more than one woman and one man, it will be accepted. But if there is other women, it's better to have two women instead of one. This is when you are signing, for example, about let's say about you're buying a property, and you come to place to كاتب عدل, we call it, the one who writes the contact between them. If there's only one man, it will be accepted as one man. If there's only one woman, it will be accepted as one woman. But it's better if they're two, because they are equal of one man.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
if though you've got a situation where you've got well, it says in here, one man or two women.
Yeah.
Now, I still don't understand. You could take Khadija, Muhammad's first wife, a commercial woman. She knew her stuff.
Yeah.
How could it ever be the case that some man who's just maybe an ignorant person could have his evidence worth more than hers on her own in any situation?
Okay.
Khadija was a woman who surely would have a great deal of weight in her evidence compared to any other man.
Thank you for saying that. Actually, why was the Quran revealed during 23 years and come with set of rules? Before this set of rules, everything is possible, as you said, because Khadija, she is a woman aware of her business, and she is twice widow, and then she married, and the Prophet, peace upon him, during 23 years. And this is why the rule of the Quran, it comes during this time, and when the set of rules was done, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. Today I have perfected your religion, and I accept the religion of Islam, submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as your religion. And in the book, God talked about a lot of rules, inheritance, talaq, about, for example, if somebody kills somebody intentionally, what is the punishment? If somebody kills somebody unintentionally by mistake, what's the rule about it? And from this aspect, everything is being detailed as according to Sharia of the Quran.
Yeah, I'm aware, yes. But then the question is, well, let me just finish the point with the gentleman. The point is, though, that you could get other Khadijas after the time of Muhammad.
Okay.
They would be in a position where, in principle, because they're women, their evidence would be inferior to that of a man who may not have the mental acumen or the commercial ability of those women. And so it seems strange, it seems irrational, in fact, that you would have a verse in the book from God, the eternal book, that would say that it's a man or two women. If it said, just look at the person, look at the quality of the person, as we do in our laws, our courts here, and judge from the quality of the person what the weight of their evidence is, not to do with their sex. That would be more rational, but the Quran says because of the sex you make a differentiation between the weight of the evidence, and that doesn't seem sensible.
Actually, you know, from the beginning, when God He creates the male, and from the male come the woman. So the woman never as equal as the man. And according to the Bible, according to the Quran, till now, look all around the world. I know there's plenty of women who are maybe more wise and more powerful and more accurate in their judgment from men. But look around the world. Who are ruling the world but men? You know,
that's partly because we have the testosterone, and we will push forward.
You know, the way I understand it, to be honest, when I look at the verses, that the women are always short of a male state, because women, by the way, women, they rely more on the emotion, their judgment of, for example, if a woman she's in a judge position, she always looks more merciful in her judgment than a man, and this is not perfectly right according to God. And women, they have, for example, their menstruation period, they have to abstain from an emotion, they are stressed, and because of their period, of their the kind of emotions they go through. They are not like us. And the fact is, we men differ from women, the way we approach everything in life.
Of course, you're absolutely right. We haven't finished though, it's alright, we haven't finished. But the thing is, we say, I know it's okay, we will talk.
No, I'm just saying,
I will talk to you.
why does the female?
I will talk to you.
Adam, why is
I will
the
talk
first
to
one
you.
great, not...
I was going to say that the born again Christians and us, some things we differ on, but one thing we have in common is the belief that when St. Paul says in Christ Jesus there's neither male nor female, slave nor free, Jew nor Gentile, it doesn't mean there are no differences. Of course there are Jews and Gentiles and males and females. But what the point is getting at is that fundamentally in Christ we are not having an inequality in certain aspects. So we know, for example, that there are differences, like men have all this testosterone and we can be more violent than women.
Yeah.
And men rule, as you say, because of our the male character. It's more inclined to push forward and dominate than the female character. But none of this means, though, that a woman is less able to be a witness in a court than a man. In fact, I would say this, that if you look at when women are arguing with men in relationships, women can often out-argue men. They've got the gift of the gab. Women have the gift of the gab when it comes to arguments with men. Look at this woman here. And,
that's my soul.
And it's because, well, who knows why it is, but many married men would say this. Women can observe a lot more than men in relationships. They hear more than men in some ways. What's going on and what's happening in the relationship. Certainly, I think now in England, more women are qualifying as lawyers than men. So all in all, what I'm getting at is that women are splendid candidates for being on juries, for being witnesses, and I would say for being judges as well. Because I don't think there's any sign that they're more sympathetic than the male judges, or less inclined to punish severely than the male judges. So I still have a problem here with this. Maybe we just have to have that disagreement, so that's different, you know.
To be honest,
I'd say the gospel is more rational on this point than the Quran, but we obviously diverge. It happens.
You know, I read the Bible and I know how the Bible look at women. Even the Bible, if you go to Leviticus, you will see that in Leviticus the male is always above, and according always women, she's half what men worth in case of dying or whatever, you know. And women always, you know, according to the Bible, the women even not allowed to speak in the churches, while men are always the dominant factor, and always, like God chose, you know, all his prophets and messengers, they are all male, and the women always,
we have actually, you know, in the Old Testament we have judges like Deborah.
You know, the degree, how God put it, that the degree of a man over a woman is a degree of responsibility more, and he is the one who are to look after them and to provide them and to secure for them.
And these are things you and I can agree about.
We
obviously,
agree
there's
about,
some things we agree, some things we disagree about.
I don't think we are disagreeing on the matter of which is harmful, because you know, for example, my woman rely on me to certain duties. I cannot, for example, look after the children. I cannot. I'm not that good. Maybe I'm good in hard work, building or something. The women are not.
It's teamwork, isn't
it?
Yeah,
different teamwork, but but she have her own. For example, I have my own. You're not going to see my woman. She's going to be mechanic and look after the car.
Well, actually, no, they can though. If they give the chance.
There's always exception, but the general, we men are physically stronger. Mentally, we might be stronger because they rely on the emotion. Most of them, majority. There are some women you might find oh, they are better even than men. For example, like the Prime Minister of Germany, for almost 30 years, she ruled, and she's a fantastic woman. You know, sometimes.
Elizabeth. Okay, I have one question. I'm sorry. I just have.
Go on, so you wait.
I want to, and I'm just not judge you, but I'm just saying.
No, go on.
Why God doesn't create first Eve and then create Adam from Eve? First. Second thing, why God always sends prophet male, not female? Why Mary doesn't give birth female rather than male?
Okay, they're good 3 questions, and in fact, from what we were discussing, you might gather that we agree on many things.
Female and Mary, that's what I understand. I'm sorry about my English.
No, you're
that's
fine.
I understand you just said Quran.
I was just focusing on that particular verse about witnesses, and we expanded it to talk about a whole range of other things. But he's asked this question, I mean, well, God, yes, made the male, and the woman came after the male. So that, and God sets up a hierarchy, as Yahya was saying. You know, the man is the head of the wife, as in our religion too. So that's a fact. And then Jesus is born a male of Mary, because and the prophets are male almost exclusively. So we can say that. In fact, I said almost exclusively because in our Bible we have a woman called Judith, and we have judges like Deborah. So there are women prominent in the Bible here and there, but it's basically a male leadership. That's a fact. Because God has set up things like this, men have these roles. Yeah, but I wasn't denying. We weren't really disagreeing on an awful amount of that. Our point of focus was the point in the Quran where it says that a woman's evidence requires another woman to support it, whereas a man's evidence does not require that. And I was saying that I thought that was not rational, and in Christianity a woman's evidence stands on its own just as a man's evidence stands on its own. The sex of the witness doesn't matter.
By the way, there are a lot of matter in Quran where it says it needs 2 witnesses, 2 male, or 1 male or 2 female. So 1 male, he might, for example, not enough sometimes, unless they are, for example, if they are in a place and they didn't find somebody to write the contract for them, they can write it between themselves. Even if there's one he cannot write or read, the witness will be God between them. And it depends about the situation, and God makes the rule easier for everyone, because he knows that we human, we can forget with the time, and this is why if for example you ask me for 100 pounds and you tell me, and let's say 1 year time I'm gonna give it to you, and so for example I might give it to you, and God say write it down even if it's small, unless it's between, you are partner and trader. So the rule is to conserve and preserve each one a right, and none of one person eats the other person right. This is why there's this set of rules. And
I think that Islam has developed contract law, and Sharia is an extremely sophisticated and developed system of law. As is the same Western development of law through canon law, bringing in Roman law. These are all very developed systems. My arguments are with certain things. I mean, on the women issue, we, for example, take issue with polygamy,
Yeah.
because we believe that as the beginning is 1 man for 1 woman.
Yeah.
And then because man went wrong, we ended up with deviations like polygamy. But they are not meant to be forever, because that bond between the man and his woman is to be
99.9 don't come. Okay. So not allowed. Not allowed.
It's Palestinian. Palestinian. From Bethlehem.
So if you look up that name, then you get some different history, and you will realize the kingdom of Judah.
How are you doing?
Yeah, you just come?
Yeah, I just arrived here.
Yeah,
I just came. It's a long time I come here. I think the day that I spoke to you.
All right, yeah.
I haven't been here for a very long time.
Yeah, well, it's like a few people turned up today.
So, what have you been doing?
Huh?
I said, what have you been arguing about? Did you talk about anything with the Muslims today?
Well, no, not so far. I was just watching someone talking to that Catholic preacher.
You know, I think you have discussed every aspect of Islam and Christianity. I know whatever we are going to say is not a new thing to you. And what I mean is that, because I saw you so many times with Muslims talking about, and you keep on raising certain objections.
Yeah.
And they keep on telling you about, but you don't want to accept that.
No, because you see, what they're telling me is some of what they're saying doesn't agree with their sheikhs.
The sheikhs?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when we are not saying that everything that Muslims agree to, you know, we have our differences, especially concerning the Sharia.
Yeah.
The certain Sharia, you know. But one thing we agree to, every Muslim agree to, is about the concept of who God is in Islam. And what will happen to you if you don't believe. Every Muslim believes in the Prophet, he's the last Prophet, God is one, and all that. But when it comes to Sharia, maybe there are certain rules which will differ because of different school of thoughts, you know. But the main important thing, every Muslim agree to it. But Christians, you have a problem. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In Christianity, some even Christians, they don't believe that Jesus is God. Some believe he's God. Some people, different types of beliefs, you know. Even some do not believe in the Trinity, which I think you don't believe as well.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like I said to Lamin in one of our discussions, he comes to me telling me that Apostle Paul is Antichrist, and then he's using an argument based on he's using an argument based on what the church says. But I'm telling him that he's got to show me from the Bible that he's Antichrist. I don't care about what the church says.
I think what he means is the message that Apostle Paul is going around preaching. You know, the message. If you look at most of the most of the New Testament is written by Paul.
Yeah.
You know, and all this ideology that you got, this Trinity, is coming from Paul. Uncle, I'm going to pray Maghrib, then I'll come. You are here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to join them pray, then I'll come back. I still have 2 hours, 1.5 hours before we go. We can talk. I'll come, I'll look for you.
All right,
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, but even the fake New Year. No, the tax man can tell you when the real New Year is.
Please, don't go there.
Right.
Don't go there.
Yeah, but quick.
Intervene. The government has to intervene.
When he told
satanic, but then of course when you get to the Quran, because it's building community between that promotes the thing you're called.
Connecting his messages. And unfortunately, that's what we find in those scriptures.
But you've managed to wreck Don't worry, well, it's more for my own protection, mate.
You accept it? You reject it? We have to give a message.
Child marriage.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Not con men, not con Stop wearing masks, please. You are helping crime syndicates with human trafficking and other nefarious activities. Take the masks off. Take the masks off. Take the masks off. Or wear masks that don't hide identity. In society, we need to see each other's faces, not only for reading emotions, but also to catch criminals. Take the masks off. Take the masks
she don't want to be with you, and she left. Is it appropriate? She leave and commit adultery with other, or to get divorced appropriately, and that if she wants to start a new chapter in her life, and he can start a new chapter in her life, because this is more fair for both of them. You know, even in the Quran, it says that the Misaq al-Khalifa, the marriage between men and women, is a thick bond. And what's beyond it is beyond to honor Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Why Allah has done
Exactly. Why Allah? Batli, okay. If you don't believe this, I will give you another belief. If Allah wants you to believe Muhammad is the Rasul, okay, why he said, man,
those who can say Hebrew Israelites, they have lost, all of them have lost. In Islam, we have no segregation in Islam. Because we were all created from one man, Adam and his wife. As Allah said, in Surah Al-Jurah, Quran chapter 49, verse 13, I have created you all from one man, Adam and his wife. I divided you into nation and tribe for you to recognize one another. The most honorable person in the sight of God are those who have piety, not by color, not by race, not by nation. But this pagan, they are not being called now. Every Muslim, we are going to pray now. Well, no matter anywhere you come from, we are going to join together and pray. This is unique. In Quran chapter 30, Surah Al-Rum, verse 30, God says, O mankind, set your faith to the true religion. The nature we God created mankind, there is no difference in the nature we God created mankind. Any religion you see, they practice the same thing in the world. God said that is my religion, that is the religion of Islam. The rest of religion, they are pagan. The religion that comes from God is Al-Islam. Quran chapter 3, Surah Al-Imran, verse 19. The only religion that comes from God is Al-Islam. Quran chapter 3, verse 85. Whoever seeks a religion other than Islam, it will never be accepted from them. On the day of judgment, they will be among the losers. Abraham was not a Christian. Isaac was not a Christian. Jacob was not a Christian. This one was compiled. It was compilation by information.
Allah teaches that women can be forced into slavery, into prostitution. Allah teaches that a man can
like this size, you know, it's like that. Yeah, I'm just trying to make you understand.
Quran chapter 24, verse 33. Allah teaches that the Muslims chapter 24. It is only by grace for you not to be saying that you are this, you are that, you can do this, you can do that. It's not by your power. You are not different. I am telling you from another person. You are not. You are not. But by His grace. But by His grace. That is why you can call yourself whatever you not by your power. Because of the grace. I think we should say numbers.
He's a comedian, I'll give you that. I like the comedy.
So why you say?
worshipping the Kaaba. And you're kissing the Kaaba. You're kissing the black stone. You're worshipping no matter which is God. What is God? Is that Yahweh or Allah? Is it Yahweh or Allah you worship?
Christianity is not in the Bible. It's paganism religion.
I know
Pagan.
this is just
paganism religion. Paganism religion. Christian. You are pagan. Paganism religion. Christianity is not in this book. I'm going to pray, man. What are you looking for, man?
Are you coming back?
Macro, sorry?
No, you coming back?
Yeah, I'll come back. I want to go and pray. What do you want to ask me? You need to become a Muslim.
No, you sure you're coming back? Remember when you ran away last time?
Run away from you. You haven't got any fact to show me. You haven't got any truth with you.
No,
you are upon the falsehood.
No, you ran away from
You are upon the falsehood.
You ran away from your sheikh.
I said you are upon the falsehood.
Yeah.
You cannot do nothing.
Get the truth and knowledge, Bob. Every week we see you on YouTube. Every week.
Yeah.
Why you speak the truth and listen to the brothers then, Bob?
Because he's not giving me truth.
They're giving you truth about it. You and YouTube every single week.
Okay.
And these brothers are giving you reference, Bob. He's giving you reference about Islam, about Prophet Muhammad, about the last and final messenger.
Yeah. Do you think he's knowledgeable?
Yeah, he was knowledge. But don't forget, when Prophet Muhammad, I'm gonna be honest with you, as a Muslim at the time,
yeah.
before he was born, he had learning difficulties. He couldn't read, he couldn't write.
Right.
He had learning difficulties. That's me. I read all his prophecy because I'm Muslim. What he did, he had people like his own people to give him knowledge and did a lot of things to him. But yeah, and then he gave us the truth, and then he went, and then they abided by giving the message. And then he set the message, and he had all his people to give him that message, to give the truth with one God, because Prophet Muhammad was sent by God. Let me hear your message.
Yeah.
You know he couldn't read and write, Prophet Muhammad. You know that when he was young.
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah, he couldn't read and write. He was the only prophet that had difficulties. He couldn't read, he couldn't write, and he acknowledged that, and he prayed to God.
Right. But here's the thing. What you're telling me, it sounds like you're believing what other people have told you.
No, I don't believe what I write. I read what's in the books. I got my books.
Right.
Not me. I got books I read. I don't look at people.
Oh, all right. So you
look at my Quran. Look at my books. I read my books, Bob. Look how much books I got. Look how much books I got, Bob. Have you got books? Have you got books at home? Have you got Quran books at home? I even got Bible at home as well. Look how much books I read, Bob.
Yeah, I got
all that about Prophet Muhammad. Me? I sit down and read like a good boy. You should do that, Bob. But why you come every week, man, and people put you on YouTube and you getting exposed, Bob? Do you know you're on YouTube?
Yeah.
All the comments are really bad, you know.
Yeah, that's because they got a problem.
You know what the people saying on the YouTube? Why you are not getting knowledge? They said that you're an old boy, a young kid can learn better than you. All these you people were messaging saying that.
Well, do you want me to explain? Notice what's happening. You're talking a lot, aren't you?
Yeah, because I'm speaking to you and giving you knowledge.
So that's the problem.
No, it's not the problem.
No, if you watch those videos...
It's a knowledge about problems.
If you watch those videos, notice the Muslims are doing a lot of talking, aren't they?
No, because you know why?
No.
They read before they speak. That brother, say like the example, the brother, he gave you knowledge and he gave you sport.
Yes, you're
but
doing the
why,
same
brother?
You're
It's not
the
about...
same thing they're doing. You are.
No, I'm not.
You're talking.
No.
And then you're not really
I'm
listening
talking.
Yeah.
I'm not the one got exposed on YouTube.
Because you're not listening to me. That's why you're saying that.
Keep talking.
Oh, so you're listening.
Yeah, I like to hear two sides. Go on.
See, this is what the problem is.
Go on, talk.
Is that if you watch those videos, the Muslims will talk and they'll ignore what I'm saying.
Go on.
And that's the reason why you think that I don't have knowledge. Because you just didn't hear anything I say.
No. That brother exposed you just now. He was talking to you and he gave you knowledge and he just walked away.
He didn't give you any knowledge.
Yeah, he did. He gave you about Islam and everything was going on. What? YouTube last week, you got exposed. Because you didn't know about the question. Some question you didn't agree about.
Which one?
You look so quiet and innocent. You was at Speaker's Corner. That Speaker's Corner, you was all over YouTube on it. You was all over it, honestly.
No, the week before, not last week.
It came out last week and the 2 weeks, and it came in the 3 weeks, and it came in the 4 weeks, it came in the 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I looked at all your debate. You was going debate.
Yeah.
This brother, the last brother that was with you, he debated you.
Yeah, I know. But the problem is because you are just listening to what they're saying and ignoring what I'm saying.
No.
That's the reason why you think.
You don't listen what they say. I listen what.
No,
I don't listen. I read my books. While everyone's debating. While everyone's talking, I sit home and read books. Look at my books.
Okay, so since
I'm
you-
a good guy because I read my books.
Okay, so you
I
got
don't
the
have to listen
books.
to people. I respect. I'm Muslim, you see. I respect God. I respect all my prophets. I respect God.
all right,
But
so-
when I don't know, if I don't know any questions about Solomon, I don't Moses, and I don't know some of my prophet books, I
Right.
sit home and I read my books.
All right, so
But you got debate 3 weeks in a row, and some of the questions you didn't know, and some of the supporters on the YouTube comments think, yeah, I'm not gonna be rude, thinks this brother is a waste of space. You get me?
Yeah, because you're scared.
And let me hear your comment now. I'm done talking. I want to hear you now.
All right, so what we were talking about the week before
Yeah, go on.
was Surah 1886.
Yeah.
So can you show me in one of your books?
I haven't got. I don't know if it's in my book. What is it? Contention is about.
No, he's saying
One
you
of the
got these
brothers was
books.
debating about him about the prophets or some book. I don't know if I got the book on me or something like that.
All right, so you got one that
I don't know
explains where the sun sets.
The sun sets.
Yeah.
The sun.
Yeah.
I saw that you was talking about Surah. Let me see.
Yeah.
Which? Yeah. We talk about sunset.
Well,
He was debating him.
Okay, are you talking about
Let me confront Surah.
Muddy Pool? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Let me
Okay.
see. So what is your
Okay,
contention?
This is what happened last time they brought this up. Shall I show you that?
Yeah. He was
What
all
he's
over
talking-
YouTube.
He's talking about Zulkarnain, yeah?
Yeah.
He was traveling, right? And it said to him while he was traveling, it appeared.
Yes, they explained that to me.
No, no,
But
in the verse it said that. Go
you're
to the
disagreeing. You're disagreeing with your prophet. That's the problem.
Huh? What prophet?
Wait, wait,
You're
we have to go
disagreeing.
to the Quran.
No, the hadith that you are
Everything's
talking
in the Quran.
about.
Listen,
Yeah.
You are talking about the hadith, the one in the Imam Majah.
No, Sunan Abu Dawud.
Yeah, that one is very weak. Why are you not talking? If you look at that one you are relying on, it's a weak hadith. Because so many hadith narrated about 4 or 5,
Yeah, I know.
narrating that particular incident, but none of them mention what Abu Dawud mentioned. So we don't rely on it. So you see, that's where you are disingenuous here. Why you don't rely on the ones which reported, which does not mention that Madi Pool?
Okay, can you give me the name of a sheikh who says it's weak?
Wait. What are you trying to say by this verse? What are you trying to say with this verse? When it was setting in the muddy pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about setting in the muddy pool? What
No,
is
he's
that?
saying that there is an hadith. His contention is that this
Allah is saying
Yeah.
one thing,
Yeah.
the Prophet is agreeing with him, and the Muslims are disagreeing with both Allah and the Prophet.
Where does
Okay, so
where
if they are disagreeing,
Yeah.
here are two Muslims in front of you.
Right.
Forget about the past time. Right, here is the Quran.
Yeah.
You said the Quran and the Messenger agreed. So
Yes.
our Prophet agrees with what the Quran is saying.
Yeah.
And me and him, we agree with what the Quran is saying.
No, you agree with your scholars.
No, we don't rely on that
See, you already
Abu
got
Dawud
something made up in
hadith
your
that
mind.
you are talking
You have to
about.
pluck that out first.
All right.
This is the first conversation.
Boss,
Okay.
you see, he's relying on a certain hadith in Abu Dawud. This hadith is very weak. Meanwhile, there are other chains of hadith which narrate the same story, which does not mention the Madi Pool. Why are you not taking those ones?
Huh?
Why are you not taking those ones which the hadiths, the chain of narration, about 4 or 5, I can't remember, we talk about that particular thing. You are not taking it, but you are rather going to take the one which mention Abu Dawud one. Why are you not taking the other 4 which go in accordance with the Quran, which goes according to the Quran?
No, that's the only one that goes in accordance with the Quran.
Well,
So I want to understand, right? You got the muddy pool, sun setting in the muddy pool.
Yeah.
So are you trying to say, because people asked me this before, does the sun set inside a muddy pool? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm saying that's what the Quran says.
Okay. So so the Quran is saying that, and the Prophet is saying that.
Yeah.
But now you're coming with some scholars who are not agreeing
So
with
now,
it.
what do you say? That's.
I say what the Quran says, that it was describing a traveler while he's traveling.
Yeah.
Let's say we're traveling this way and you see the sun is setting there. It would appear to me the sun is setting behind
even
the
in
tree.
our time, you can
Do you
see
see what
that.
I'm
Have you
saying?
ever seen a
So-
sun setting on a sea? It looks like it's coming down
exactly.
the sea.
So
Have
he's
you saw it so
traveling.
many times.
So with that, Allah is indicating the time that it went
This
from one
incident
point
in our
to
time,
another
that
point.
in my village, when the sun is going, it looks like it's going to fall on the
You're trying to say
We
that
all
Allah is
think this kind
unclear.
of thing. Yeah,
Why are you saying that to me?
People know
This is what Allah.
they see this incident happening.
Let's read the verse. And let's see what Allah says rather than what you say. Yeah?
That's why son like all that's coming in was like, I'm going to debate her, but she's hard work. This one.
Are you recording?
That's the only one I never debate.
Yeah.
Have you done it?
Don't
ever waste your time. You don't like to
Good luck with that.
That woman you are
It's
talking
not me,
evil,
it's
innit? Yeah.
our God.
You don't like
the
your
champ, not me.
evil, no?
Alhamdulillah.
This one is evil. Don't waste your time on self
Alright, so it's...
That's the only one I never did.
Uncle,
But if
Uncle, me, the hadith that you are talking about, I'm not. There is an hadith which says that the Prophet said the son said on a muddy pool. And I'm saying that particular hadith, every Muslim, everybody know that narration is weak. Do you know why we get to know that it is weak? Because there are other chains of narrations, about 4, which narrate the same story. So why are you taking only one? Only one. You ignoring the other one.
Time, yeah?
Yeah.
You're just taking a bit of time.
No. I'll read. So it says.
Let me see.
So if you go to 86.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Until when he reached the setting of the sun, he found it as if sitting in a spring of a dark mud.
Yeah.
And he found near it a people. And Allah said, Dhul Qarnayn, either you punish them or else adopt among them a way of goodness.
Yeah.
So what about it? What about this?
So notice what it said there. It says until he reached. So when you reach somewhere, it's a place, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
A set place.
Yes, it reached the ending of the sea, you know, of the Black Sea. You know,
So
and I told you.
say that.
No, that's what we know. We get to know. No, we are not making it up. You know
we're
that.
making it up. We're making it up.
Okay.
We're making it up. But it said it said a spring of a dark mud. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about that?
So if you actually read what it says there, it says until he reached. So he reached an actual place.
Yeah.
Where and he found.
Yeah.
The sun setting, of course.
In a spring of dark mud.
Yeah.
So, and you know the word in, when I was having a discussion with all those Muslims, they were trying to say that the in meant something else. And what the actual Arabic word, which if you read Arabic, you know which word it is.
I won't know it. I will know the Arabic, how to read it. I wouldn't know how to read it and interpret it. I haven't done that.
Yeah, but what's that, when we were having that discussion, what I was trying to show them is that when I go to a website, which is an Islamic website called Islam Awakened, about the Quran, it actually has the word by word, and under the in, it's got an Arabic word.
Okay.
So they'd have to tell me that doesn't mean in, which would then mean that that website is lying about the Quran.
No.
Okay. But that website is saying to you that the sun went into a muddy pool.
Yes, you've got the in right by the Arabic word.
So it's finished.
Right,
finished.
Yeah.
You got your understanding. That's your understanding. That's how you want to understand it. We've already tried to make you understand our way by you say we differ. So there is no point.
But that then means that I'm the real Muslim and you guys aren't.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay.
Good, my brother.
Okay, but you guys are in the fire now, so you don't seem to care.
We'll see about that. We'll see about that.
Uncle, let us be true. Listen, nobody is denying that the verse is not saying that the guy is 518. We know that Allah was narrating the incident what Zulkarnain saw. Okay, so. And even our time, time in my village, when I was a kid, when the sun is setting, it's looking as if you look far away. It's looking as if it's going to fall on somebody. On somebody's house. This is just that's how we look at it. There are so many places. Even we say the sun is setting. The sun actually is not setting. It's just a human language we are using.
Yeah.
But my contention about you that every Muslim, everybody knows, even during are you telling me that even the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam doesn't know, even the time you all see sun, and you know that the Prophet doesn't know that sun doesn't set on a muddy water?
No.
Come on, what are you talking about?
No, I'll give you my explanation.
Okay.
What I think is happening, if you read have you read a lot of hadiths?
Yes, of course.
All right. When you read some of the hadiths, Muhammad is saying a whole load of different things.
No, absolutely no. Unless
you haven't read the hadith.
I know which hadith. Unless you are reading what weak and weak hadith. Any authentic hadith, You know, we have. Do you know how a hadith is compiled, or what the difference between a hadith? That's why I'm holding you to this. The hadith that you just say, oh, the Prophet really agreed with that. That particular hadith, I mean, Abu Dawood, is not is weak. It's weak because there are other narrations, which about 4 or 5 I can't remember. We talk about the same incident, but none of them mention the muddy pool of water. And why are you relying on Abu Dawood? And you ignore the 4. You see, this is disingenuous.
No, I've read. Let me show you something. You're saying I ignore those hadiths.
Yes.
I want to show you that I haven't.
The other one, we talk about that.
Yeah, I've read.
And he's talking about, he's saying that the sun is setting on the muddy water. The narration says that.
No. They are, let me see.
I think this one, I wanted to talk to you about something else. Uncle, how are you? Uncle Abdul Razak. I saw you debating with my uncle so many times on YouTube, mashallah. And I was telling you cover every aspect of Islam, but you still have contentions and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but did you notice that in one of the recordings I was talking to him, they cut it off? I was talking it's for 2 hours, and they cut the video in the part that they wanted to show.
You haven't got any concrete evidence.
You haven't
got any concrete evidence. We are the truth.
I don't think they will. I don't think Brother Abdulrazak will do that.
No, but you follow of Jesus. You are
keeping
the commandment.
I don't know, Uncle. I don't understand why you just believe in this Christian theology. It doesn't make sense if you look at every aspect of it, even in terms of logically, everything, the Bible, even scripturally. If you look at your scriptures, it can't support what you believe. Trust me.
Yes, it does. It's just because you haven't read it.
Of course I
didn't. No, you haven't.
You don't even know the Bible.
But neither do you. All right. So do you say you know the Bible? Do you know the Bible?
What did Jesus call salvation in the Bible?
Huh?
What did Jesus call salvation in the Bible? Salvation in the Bible.
What did he what?
What did Jesus
It's called salvation in the Bible.
No, he never made that statement.
It never makes sense.
No,
what Jesus said.
The question you're asking doesn't make sense. See, you haven't read the Bible properly to know what question to ask.
Yeah, you need to
No, it's a good, because salvation will all need. It's a good question, Uncle. It's a good question because we all need salvation. Without the salvation, we are all doomed, isn't it?
Yes.
So salvation is very important. Yes. And what did Jesus said in the scriptures about salvation? What are you going to do to acquire salvation? This is what Brother
No, he says you should keep the commandments of God.
Exactly. So he didn't say you should come to die for your sins. So why are you not keeping the commandments?
No, he did say that.
Where did he say that? He said he came to die for your sins. Can you show me a verse where Jesus said he came to die for your sins? Okay, show me, Uncle.
Matthew 19, 16, 17. You see now, every Muslim, when the Adhan was called, all of us went the same place. We went
to pray.
No matter anywhere you
I was talking to him and I told him, okay, listen, I'm going to go and pray.
You see?
And I left. He doesn't have it.
All right, so this is John 3:14.
Yeah, and he says what? He said he's going to show me a verse where Jesus said he came to die for their sins. So that's why I'm
No, see, do you want him to say those exact words?
Exactly, because that was his mission.
See, that's Muslim deception.
What is that?
It is. Do you want me to explain? Let's see. Do you want to explain why it's Muslim deception?
No, why? You tell me, why is it
what I've noticed Muslims keep doing, you ask specific questions, like Daddy said these words.
Which one?
Is it not right to ask these specific questions?
No, but you say
Jesus' mission was to come and die for people's sins. This is why he was going around preaching.
People will not be preaching
God come beating about the bush. You make it clear. Oh, that's my countryman people.
In the glorious Quran, they say their religion as a Muslim and blade and Muslim.
These are my countrymen in Ghana.
You don't have to put it word for word, as he said.
Yeah, but that's what Muslims keep trying to say.
Don't say.
But uncle, if Jesus' mission was to come down on earth to die for our sins, don't you think he would have been just going around saying that? It's simple.
So
clear.
Let me read it.
But don't make his mind up for him. Let him make his own mind.
No, I'm just asking him a question.
So alright, so I'm going to read it. So it's John 3:14.
Yeah.
As Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have eternal life.
Yes.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. For God said not his sharp, I'm reading.
No, who
I'm
said that?
reading.
Wait, 16. We want to clarify that.
Wait for me to finish.
We need to clarify that 16.
Yeah, once you finish reading, then we can clarify.
You're using Muslim deception again.
Yeah,
wait for me to finish, right?
Uncle Abdul, let you finish.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. Yeah.
So, Uncle, so who is it Jesus' statement? What you are just read? Is it
Jesus? All of it is Jesus speaking.
No, it's coming from Jesus himself. Who is uttering those statements?
Listen. Jesus, he said, John 3:16.
Yeah.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believeth in him, if it is Jesus, whoever believeth in me, he won't say in him.
Did you hear his question?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
You're talking about something.
my question was, show me a verse where Jesus said he has come to die for your sins. That was the question.
that was
But
my
this
purpose,
is not
to
a
die.
Jesus statement.
It is not
These
Jesus'
have been
statement.
attributed to Jesus.
Exactly. And
This is attributed to Jesus.
to him.
You know, and we told you,
Attributed to
Jesus, this is attributed to Jesus. This is not coming
Whoever
from Jesus.
believeth in him,
Even this one, there is not even sins. He came to die for your sins. There is no mentioning of dying for sins even in that
he came to
statement.
preach the goodness of the kingdom of God.
Whoever believe in him, he didn't say whoever, he came to die. I'm saying he came as Christians want us to believe. Jesus came to die because he was crucified just to save humanity. I want to hear that statement coming from Jesus.
No, that's from Paul. Paul said
Exactly.
it. Paul said it to Jesus.
Alright, so you wanted Jesus to say that he was...
I came to die for you.
For you.
Alright, so let me read then. So this is Matthew 26 and 26. And as they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it, and brake it, and gave it to the disciples, and said, Take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks, and gave it to them, saying, Drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins.
What is the New Testament? What is the New Testament? Carry on. Carry on. What is the New Testament? What is the New Testament?
No, but you heard what he said.
No, you mentioned
Yeah, even that one did not prove the point that I'm asking.
No,
Trust me.
no,
even
no, so
this one,
let me explain.
Yeah,
Let
this
me
one
explain.
did not even clarify what I'm saying. Because this is my blood. Eat it
you're not
and all
letting me-
this kind
you're
of
not letting me
thing.
I bring out from the book of John. If I bring out from the book of John, you said I contradicted each other.
Yeah, but you're just talking and not hearing me. So this is, we can read this and understand this. The reason why you don't want to, the reason why you don't want to say that this is what you're asking, is because you're just being stubborn.
No, it's not because we are stubborn. We don't even rely on this to prove what we believe. Okay.
All you're doing.
Because we know that the Bible cannot be trusted. So many of the verses that you are reading.
But that's because someone told you that.
No.
That's all you're.
How will you put your salvation on something which is full of contradictions? I will never put my trust and salvation on such a book. The Bible, how do you know that those statements is really actually coming from Bible, from Jesus?
If you continue that, you will see where Jesus went to Gethsemane to go and pray.
Because
he didn't want to die.
Let me explain. So because
he didn't want to die.
Do you know what history is?
What is history?
What is history? Tell me. I know history.
History is what people have written about what happened in the past.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not inspiration of God.
Yeah, but so if people written history, don't you think they can manipulate and concoct different things?
That's good. All right. So what you're saying is that the Bibles are manipulated at some time.
Because there is evidence in the Bible. Because we see a lot of contradictions in the Bible. There is evidence.
Right.
So I will never, because this is what we are saying, there is contradiction. So you cannot be sure about what is there, which statement is true.
Yeah, that's because you're thinking of it the wrong way.
No.
No, do you want me to explain?
Absolutely. No, uncle. Okay, explain. Okay, I'll explain.
All right. See, what you're doing is because of what you've been taught already from Islam.
No, we find it in the Bible.
No. The reason you're doing that is because you're a Muslim.
What? No, it's not because I'm Muslim.
Yeah, it's because you've been taught to.
Even if I was not a Muslim, trust me, uncle, I'm telling you, and I'm gonna use this Bible as my my foundation to search for Christianity. I'll reject it because it's full of contradiction. I will not take such a thing. And logically, if somebody come and tell me God became a man and come and die for me, all this will not make sense to me, uncle. I'm telling. Remember, this is not my first time I'm telling you this. I told you that when we first met, and I told you that if I was not even a Muslim, Christianity will not appeal to me. I would rather be an atheist rather than.
That's because you prefer what Islam has in it.
True. No, because it's nonsensical to believe searching every aspect of Christianity.
They said when Jesus came back on the third day. When he came back on the third day, two women went to the tomb. Mark said 3 women.
When he talks, notice he doesn't talk anything about the Quran, does he?
No,
but he's supposed to be a
We
Muslim.
are not talking about the Quran. We are talking about the Bible.
Yeah.
We are talking about the Bible. We are talking about the Bible. I'm very sure Abdulrazak knows he knows Quran. He's Muslim.
Let me give you some quotation. Let me give you quotation of the Quran. Let me give quotation of the Quran.
Yeah.
You see, Allah says in the glorious Quran, in Quran chapter 61, Surah Al-Nisa, verse 6, Allah said, remember when the children of Israel, when Allah said, O children of Israel, Jesus said, O children of Israel, I am an apostle of Allah to you, confirming what came before me in the Torah, and to give you a glad tidings of a messenger who shall come after me, who his name shall be Ahmed. When Jesus came in the book, in Quran chapter 19, Surah Maryam, from verse 30, when Maryam was accused that she committed adultery, what did Jesus do? He started speaking in cradle. I am an apostle of God. God has given me a scripture. He has blessed me.
I've heard them
in the
before.
Quran.
It's
there.
Yeah, no, I've heard them before. But here's the thing.
What
you just said there,
because to
how do
prove
you know
that Islam
that,
is true, let me
said
tell
that?
you why. Because during the time, the Torah, the law
how do you know that?
for adultery.
We know. It's a
was
messenger.
told,
How did you know
if
that
they
Moses was
believe that
God?
Mary was what?
Who was there with Moses when he was
she's a Jew. Don't you think
You're
that's why Allah
questioning me.
make
The minute I ask you about the Quran,
His book
make
is
Jesus
unique.
speak
You divert.
The book that is given to him 1400
How
years
will
ago
they tell
is
this
unique.
Christian?
No
How
addition.
will-
Can
how
you
will
talk about the
Muhammad
Quran without
sallallahu alaihi
diverting?
wasallam
Okay,
come
what
out
I'm now
with this
saying,
kind of
the
thing? Come on.
Quran chapter 4, in
Yeah.
Quran chapter
The
4, Surah
Christian-
Nisa, verse 82, Allah says,
Yeah,
if
but
the Quran can
that's
come
not why I
from
asked
other
you.
than God, you will have find contradiction in the
Contradictions
Quran.
in it.
You will
Yeah.
have find contradiction in Quran chapter 18, verse 2.
but
Allah
how-
says, thanks to Allah, God,
this is what
who
happened.
has sent
No,
down
this
the
is not letting me
Quran.
talk.
You asked me about
You
the
asked him
Quran.
to talk about Quran.
Yeah,
Now
we
he's
talk
talking
about
uncle.
Quran.
No,
Now
you
we talk
asked
about
him,
the Quran.
and I told you that he knows Quran. He said that we are
not-
talking about
That's not
Bible.
the question I asked him.
What's the question you asked me?
I asked him why all that stuff you're speaking there.
Yeah.
Why do you believe it?
I say I believe because it's unique.
The-
400 years ago, it remained intact, no
That's fine.
contradiction. It's unique.
So how do you know
unique
it?
and truth.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fine. So how do you know it wasn't made
And
up?
it makes logical sense.
If it was made up,
It doesn't.
If it was, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. If
What do
it
you
was
say?
made up-
Sunset in what?
In a muddy spring. doesn't
You
make
know
it.
that that's not what the
If-
Bible.
if-
That's what the verse says.
If it was made up,
Yeah.
it would have been more than 70 different versions of Quran, like the Bible.
Eh? No, I
It would
think
have
that
been, it would have been more than 70 different versions of the
Sometime I
Quran.
can-
But the Quran is one, unique, not like the Bible.
Sure. So have you heard of the Sana manuscript?
Sorry?
Have you heard of the
We
Sana
don't have that in the Quran. When you are coming, you bring your evidence. When you are coming here, you bring evidence. Contradiction in the Quran, you bring it.
No,
you don't just talk.
You said it
you
hadn't
bring
changed.
evidence.
So
Sorry?
I'm disagreeing with you.
I said you bring the Quran when you are
So
coming
what
here
has
next
changed
Sunday.
then if
What
you
has
disagree
changed
with
in the
him?
Quran?
The Sana manuscript. Have you heard of it? Have you heard of the Sana manuscript?
Yeah.
No, what's that?
Yeah. You see, that's
Does it,
the problem.
wait. We don't know, so enlighten us. Does that talk about the Quran?
Tell us
It
about
is the Quran.
So what is it and tell us then what
What is
happened?
What
It's a
Quran?
manuscript of
Yeah.
verses from the
Which-
Quran.
Verses from the Quran.
Yes.
This manuscript, when was it founded or when was it written?
No, they're saying it's from maybe around the time of Uthman.
Uthman. Okay, so what does it say? How is
What
it
Quran
different?
edition
No,
can
it's
you
got-
No. How is it different to the Quran that we have today?
Hmm?
How is it different?
All right, but here's this weird thing.
No, you
How-
you brought this up.
Yeah.
So we're asking you, how is it different to the Quran that we have today?
But But the thing you don't realize is how easy it is to find this kind of information.
That's fine,
No,
that's
no.
fine.
What is the difference between
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one
yeah.
and the one we have
Yeah,
today?
what's
Alright,
the difference?
I'll get you, man.
They always go on the internet. Internet. We don't take our religion from internet.
No, no, leave him, leave
We
him.
don't
We
take
could-
it from internet.
You know what? Let him get all the help he needs. Let's find out how is it different. ولو كان من عند غير الله
Nigeria, wow, mashallah.
ولو كان من عند غير الله لوجدوا فيه اختلافا كثيرا.
I saw you on YouTube all
You're
the time.
Nigerian as well?
No, I'm Ghanaian.
Ghanaian, you're Akron. You're
I'm
Igbo.
from no, I'm
You
a
speak
house.
Tree, innit?
No, no.
You
Ghana,
speak Tree, man.
No, listen.
You
Ghana,
speak Ga,
most
yeah?
of the
You
Jews
speak
are
Ga?
Christians,
You
okay?
speak Ga?
No, I don't speak Ga.
No,
I'm
no
from
Tree,
northern
no
Ghana.
Ga.
Yeah, all those tribes you are mentioning are Christians.
Wallahi. So what do you
So I speak the Gomba. We are from the north. When you see Muslim Ghanaians, most of them are
they're from the north.
Or they are Hausa people.
House in Nigeria.
By Ashanti,
Yeah.
the Ghans, alhamdulillah, now they are converting to Islam. About 30% of that population are converting to Islam. But the Ashantis are the stubborn. They don't want. But there are few of them who are. Most of the liars, the Christian liars, pastor liars are all Ashanti. So that, but it's the biggest tribe in Ghana. That's why you are mentioning.
Okay. If you cannot find it, if you can't find it, you could call a friend.
Uncle, how can you
could
be
call a
talking
friend.
about something where,
Call a friend.
whereby you don't even know what the contradiction is in that particular thing? You should when you say, do we hear about Sana and one scriptures? You should know what you are talking about.
Of course. But if
You
it
just
doesn't, no
know, then
problem.
you
Bring the evidence.
No, it's because you asked to divert.
No, no, no. You're the one who came with it.
Sana
Yeah, so we're
you
asking
said
you,
Sana,
show us.
Sana manuscript.
Yeah.
That there is contradictions. In it. You should have known this. This is what you just know that it's not there. It's the actually just there.
Reasoning with people who are asking many questions from Jesus, he was giving their good answers. He has Jesus, which is the first commandment. And Jesus answered him, the first of all commandments is, hear, O Israel.
Here's some examples.
Examples? Who wrote these examples? It is from the Quran.
No, see, so what you're doing is...
Don't tell us what we're doing. Okay, let's read it. Let's read it.
No, because...
Let's read it. It's okay. Very description. In Quran chapter 2 verse 196. I don't know. It says C-1. Oh, sorry. C. I do not have the word. The text of the standard tradition. Do not shave your heads until the offering reaches its destination. The text of C1 tradition. Do not shave until the offering reaches its destination. So I don't understand. What's that?
No, what they're doing is showing differences between...
No. Differences between what?
Between what's in the Sana manuscript and the standard Arabic text.
You know what you are talking doesn't make sense because you are not showing anything.
But
You know our.
See, we're a Christian. When Muslims bring evidence about the manuscript... Oh, Michael.
Yeah.
Uncle, yeah?
Yeah,
Michael.
Michael.
Sorry,
Yeah,
uncle,
yeah.
uncle. I respect. Of course,
Yeah,
uncle is my older, yeah?
At that time,
The text here you could see, it is in English. Yeah?
Yes.
Is the manuscript written in English?
No, but
It's written what?
But you're just
No,
making
no,
an
I'm
excuse.
asking.
No, but you're still making an excuse.
No, I'm not. I'm just
Do you
asking
want me to
you.
explain the excuse?
I swear I'm not making any excuse. I'm just asking you.
Yeah, you are. You already know that it's in Arabic.
So if it is in Arabic,
Yeah.
I want to understand the first line here. What's the difference? What is the difference?
No, what they're doing is they examine the Arabic,
Yeah.
the Sana manuscripts.
Yeah. Do you know my first language is Arabic? You know that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And then they get the Arabic from the standard Quran that you have now,
Yeah.
and they just compare it.
Yeah, so you see the person who wrote this,
Yeah.
who is he? I mean,
Record what?
where is he basing his research on? How did he come to this conclusion? What evidence did he see?
He just used the photographs they have on the standard manuscript.
Okay, the photograph and the current Quran that we have
Yeah,
today.
it's Arabic from the current Quran.
And what he found? What the verse is different.
But here's the thing.
I'm asking. Did he find that the verse is different?
Yes.
The verse is different.
Yeah.
So okay, you see, is there a photograph of that manuscript?
All right. Here's a challenge for you. You say you can read Arabic, is it?
Of course I can.
All right. If you see a picture of it, will you then start saying that it's fake?
Uncle Michael, yeah, with all due respect,
Yeah.
do you think I can determine whether that photo is fake or is genuine?
Do I have? Wait. Do you really think I can?
Yeah, but then what you'd be saying is that the people who did it,
Yeah.
they must be lying.
No. All I'm asking is, you said there's a manuscript or there's a photograph of a manuscript that says otherwise, yeah? And I'm asking, was that carbon dated? Was there anything like that? That new piece of evidence that this guy, whoever wrote this, is relying on, you're saying it's different to what we have today in the Quran.
Yeah.
What he's relying on as a piece of evidence, was that carbon dated to see where was it written? When?
Yeah.
When? When? He said from the time of Uthman.
No, but here's the thing. Let's go.
He was correcting him.
You know Mansour, isn't it?
Huh?
You know Mansour?
I know Mansour, yeah. I know.
Alright, and he writes for the Islamic Awareness website.
I don't know that, okay.
You don't know about?
No, I said I know the brother Mansour,
Yeah.
but I don't know if he writes for someone. I don't know.
No. Apparently he's one of the maybe even one of the heads there, as far as
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does he say?
And on that website, it actually has the Sana manuscript.
Yeah.
And it has a link to where you could download the images. And
That's fine. I will get the link. What is it called? The Sani? The Sani manuscript?
Sana.
Oh, the Sinai, as the area Sinai, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, the Sinai manuscript.
Yeah.
And it's to do with the Quran.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have a look. Yeah? But have you got a photo of it?
Yeah.
Don't do what they do. Do according to the law.
What we are now saying, Christianity came after Jesus had departed from the world. Jesus knew nothing about Christianity.
Christianity was a name given to God. It's like a swear word, like a slang.
No, the pagan called
they sold them, they called them Christians.
It's a name given by the enemy.
The enemies were, yeah. Jesus never heard the name Christian.
Surah 6.
Surah 6,
It's
okay.
like a swear word, you understand? Christian.
Maybe my hand, because I got gloves on.
Christianity as a religion is not in the Bible.
I'm not part of religion. I'm not part of religion.
It's not part of, but if you want to become
That's fine.
if you want to become sincere about religion, the religion of Islam is unique. When you look at the Quran, Quran is one, and we are submitted to God alone. We don't worship any other thing except one true God. But the rest of them, the Christians say God has begotten his son. Jesus is the son of God. Who is the wife of God that has Jesus for God? Who is the wife of God?
Did you say this is Surah 6, yeah?
Surah 6. Yeah, it's supposed to be 649.
Yeah, okay.
I don't believe in Trinity. I believe God I believe God manifests himself in different forms. Remember Jesus, before he ascended, when he came back from rising one day, he said the Great Commission. Cast them in the hands of the sheep.
God said they should kill the false prophet on the cross.
Jesus, he knew us to be on the cross. He became a curse for the sin of mankind.
Who said that? Paul said that. Paul wrote a letter to the Galatians. He quoted it. Galatians chapter 3 verse 13. Paul quoted that. No, Jesus.
Okay, it's from 49, yeah? So it says, والذين كذبوا بآياتنا يمسهم العذاب بما كانوا يفسقون, yeah? Okay. And then it says, قل لا أقول لكم إني okay خزائن الله ولا أعلم الغيب
ولا أقول لكم ملك
ولا أقول لكم إني ملك إن اتبع إلا ما يوحى إلي قل هل يستوي الأعمى والبصير أفلا تتفكرون. So where's the difference, my brother? Where's the difference?
This is just one page.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay.
But what scholars have done.
Yeah.
But see, this is the thing. I've got all the images here.
Yeah.
And they specified the way they found differences. I think it was in Surah 8.
That's fine. That's fine. So I don't come to a conclusion. So what are you saying? We have a different version of the Quran now.
Bro, you see, I told me actually we talk about this thing, and I told him. You see, even when they find a manuscript whereby there is a mistake in it, that doesn't prove that the Quran is wrong. Okay, somebody can make a what? An error. We all, even our time. Listen, I'm not saying that there is. I'm just reasoning with you. I'm just reasoning with you. And we Muslims say, I told you, this tradition of memorizing the Quran was being done during the Prophet's time up to our time. The Quran is in the head of people, in the heart of people.
I know, but see, but what that shows is that how you're biased towards the Quran and away from the Bible.
We are biased.
Yeah, you're saying there's differences in the Bible, and you're jumping on
them. Do you have the original language of the Bible? Do you have it?
You've been told to say that.
No, don't be taught to say that. Because we can go back to the Quran to prove it.
I've heard Muslims say that, so you've got that from other Muslims.
Do you know something, Uncle Michael, yeah?
Yeah.
You have issues with people and how they ask. You want to determine how people should ask questions or how to think. This is the wrong approach.
No.
If I was in your position, whatever questions I've been hammered at, I would answer it regardless, yeah?
Yeah.
And I would ask them questions, then I would expect them to answer regardless as well.
Yeah,
I don't want to determine or sway them to think in a certain way.
Yeah,
if I ask you a question, wait. If I ask you a question and you're not happy with my question, this is my personal question, yeah? If you want to answer it or not, this is entirely up to you. But what you cannot say is, you're being programmed, you're being biased. That's your opinion. But if a person is asking a question, he only wants to know or respond to the question, not your feelings about the question.
Yeah, but if I keep hearing the same questions from different Muslims,
just keep on giving the same answer.
No.
Keep on giving the same answer that you believe in.
Ask those questions. Because we can, when you bring manuscript different, we can always refer back to the Arabic language which was revealed to the Prophet. But you don't have it. So you are telling me we haven't bias towards the Bible.
Yeah, but that's fine. But
the Bible,
let him answer the way he
the
wants.
original language, so it's always going to be difficult to trace it back.
I know, but we've got history on our side. We've got the history of the actual people who have been reading those actual writings.
Uncle Michael, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Would it be fair to say? Would it be fair to say that you, from our perspective, you've been programmed in a certain way and are biased towards the Bible? Do we have the same?
Programmed by who?
Whoever, yeah? You see the way you ask the questions that you think Muslims been programmed to follow a certain way or to be biased towards the Quran, yeah?
No, to ask certain specific questions.
Yeah, no, that's fine, yeah? But I'm saying is, there's bias, being biased and programmed or conditioned to think in a certain way, right?
Yeah.
That's the accusation towards the Muslims, right?
Yeah.
Would it be fair to say, from the Muslims' perspective, that we think you have been conditioned, you've been programmed, and you've been biased? Do we have the same right as well of thinking the same way as you?
Yes, you do, but...
But if we think that way, are we going to get anywhere?
No, but here's the interesting thing.
Go on.
Notice that if you look at...
Do you mind if I smoke?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. But if you look at the YouTube videos, and even the conversation we're having here, and when I'm talking to Abdul Razik...
No, I asked him already.
In all situations, what I've noticed is that whenever I try to talk to Muslims, they will do a lot of talking, and I hardly get to say anything.
Okay, that's why I don't know, have you noticed I've been telling.
I think this is a necessary thing we are
But that's fine. That's fine.
That's
That's
uncle.
fine. But he
Yes.
feels. Wait, Abdulrazak, he feels that way.
No, it's
so
okay.
you have to
Let's
respect his
forget
feelings.
about
Yeah?
that because that questions are always going to be asked.
But
Whether you like it that way or not.
But he's right. He has the right to speak his mind to answer
course.
questions.
When we
Okay?
also any question we ask, whether you anyhow you think I don't have problem, but just try to answer the question. You know, but me what we are talking now, I don't see any benefit. What I'm saying is that the reason why the Bible you can't take it serious because of these contradictions that you find in it. And even the Christians, I told you the Christians, if you because when we first met, I told you that every Muslim denomination they all believe in one thing, you know, the main core. But the Christians, you have different beliefs. Listen, Jesus, the Trinity. This guy just said he doesn't believe in Trinity. You don't believe in Trinity. Some people will take you as a heretic, you know, for not believing in that.
If you actually listen to what I'm saying, you understand these things. You won't have to keep asking me.
Okay.
Actually listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm listening. Tell me.
What I believe is according to what's written in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's not based on what some denomination tells me to believe. And everyone else who's a Christian is supposed to do that as well. So it doesn't matter what they believe.
So those who believe in the Trinity, they are not following the Bible. Is that what you are saying?
No, whatever it says in the Bible, that's what we should be talking about, and that's
So
what
is the
I believe.
Trinity in the Bible? Is the Trinity in the Bible?
No, it doesn't mention it.
So it means those who believe in it, they are all heretics.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned.
The majority of the Christians are heretics. Then.
Yeah, but you still don't listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying...
I can like that. You just tell me that majority of the Christians are heretics. Then the Christianity will just be left with...
But remember, yeah, that's you're speaking to him, not to all Christians.
No,
so
but though he's Christian, I'm talking to all the Christians.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
No, so you don't understand. That's the
and
problem.
that is what I'm telling him that.
You're wrong.
Yeah,
Uncle, no, the reason why, Uncle, the reason why I said that, this is all proof that Christianity is wrong.
No.
Because your Bible, you cannot substantiate your beliefs in it.
It's because you ignore what I'm saying. That's why you think it's
No,
wrong.
I didn't. I understand. I already told you that Christians have different beliefs.
Yeah,
different beliefs. I told you
But
about
notice,
that.
I said we've got a better history. I noticed no one came back on that.
History.
Yes.
Even your history is not reliable. Your history is contradictory.
But we've got history.
Everyone has history.
History, of
Oh,
course.
so the Quran's got history.
Of course he has.
Of course.
What are you talking about here?
All right.
When you say history, what are we talking about here in particular?
All right. So with the, you know, I showed you this manuscript.
Right, man. Yeah.
So you know how in the Hadith it talks about when the first time the Quran was written down was by Abu Bakr.
Go on.
It was collected by Abu Bakr.
Corrected or written?
Collected.
Oh, collected. Sorry,
Yeah.
carry on.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
And then what it says is that those texts were put together and given to Hafsa
Go on.
to look after.
Go on.
Yeah.
It was combined in one
One
booklet and given to Hafsa.
Yeah. Right.
So what's the problem with that?
Yeah. So that.
Your people, they taken over, man.
We know that, man. Already.
So that Quran that was given to
Somali
Hafsa.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Sorry, say that again. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt
All
you.
that where is the Quran that was given to Hafsa? Where is it? Where is that Quran?
Okay, so from the history that you read, since you read this, where do you think happened to the books of Hafsa?
No, it said that it was given to Hafsa.
Yeah, to do what with it?
No, just to keep it.
Yeah, and then what happened?
And then later on,
Yeah.
Uthman had a problem where he had to take it back.
Yeah, from who?
From
Wait, from Hafsa. Yeah, continue.
And then they made copies of it.
Yeah.
Along with some other materials, they said.
Yeah, and then what happened?
And then they made it into a specific codex.
Yeah.
Which was then copied.
Yeah.
And sent to various regions.
Yeah, and then what happened to the books that was collected from Hafsa? That's my question.
No, I'm not a Muslim, so I'm asking you.
What do you know from the history? Did Uthman burn all the books?
No, he burnt the ones that disagreed.
No.
Well,
That's
just
what he said.
relax. Yeah?
Absolutely.
That's what he says.
Where does it say that?
Where does it say that?
Where does it say that?
All right, let's get that out.
You see, I don't know where you get it. Oh, come on.
But this is the thing. I just thought that you looked all this stuff up. You know, it's
Sorry?
History, it's history of your Quran.
But you need to finish the history. What happens at the end?
You said.
Wait. Do you believe that Uthman destroyed the other copies, and he only kept his copy?
That he destroyed the ones which does not agree.
Yeah.
Which is lie, man.
Yeah.
Which is not true. It's not true. There was no Quran which does not agree. You know about the canonization.
Of course.
Even there were Hafiz, you know, all around who came together to compile it and to make.
Let's just keep quiet for a second. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Alright, so let's read it then. So this is Sahih al-Bukhari, volume 6, number 510.
Go on.
Narrated Anas bin Malik.
Yeah.
Hudayfa bin al-Yaman came to Uthman at the time when the people of Sham and the people of Iraq were waging war to conquer Armenia and Azerbaijan.
So just go back a bit. Iraq, did he say? Did he say something about Iraq? Did he mention the word Iraq?
No, he said, and the people of Iraq.
Iraq?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's continue, okay.
Yeah. Or waging, actually, from the news just a little bit. Yeah, because these guys are a bit loud. Alright, so, to conquer Armenia and Azerbaijan, Hudayfa was afraid of the people of Sham and Iraq, differences in the recitation of the Quran. So he said to Uthman,
Where are you from? Where?
Huh?
Where are you from?
Africa, man.
Which country?
I'm from all of Africa, man. And I'm from East.
Eritrea. You are Eritrean?
Yeah.
You don't look like Eritrean, man.
What are you talking about? I don't look like Eritrean.
I
How do
thought you-
Eritreans look?
I
How do
don't-
Eritreans look?
Eritrea, those I know. I got a lot of Eritreans in Ethiopia.
Yeah, they don't look like me. So they are the ones who are not Eritreans, yeah? Right.
No.
Let's get it straight then, yeah?
You look, I was thinking that you're from Sudan. Trust me, or this is. I thought you were
I'm far
from
away
Sudan.
from Sudan in Eritrea.
Yeah,
The people
yeah.
that you meet, they're actually closer to Sudan than me. Continue.
alright, yeah, so,
I've got a lot of Ethiopians.
yeah, it says Hudayfa was afraid of the people of Sham and Iraq, differences in the recitation of the Quran.
Yeah, recitation.
Yeah.
Recitation,
So he said to Uthman, O chief of the believers, save this nation before they differ about the book, as Jews and the Christians did before.
Yeah.
So Uthman sent a message to Hafsa saying, send us the manuscripts of the Quran so that we may compile the Quranic materials in perfect copies and return the manuscripts to you.
Yeah.
Hafsa sent it to Uthman. Uthman then ordered Zayd bin Thabit, Abdullah bin Azubair, Said bin Al-As, and Abdul Rahman bin Harith bin Hisham to rewrite the manuscripts in perfect copies. Uthman said to the three Qurayshi men, in case you disagree with Zayd bin Thabit on any point in the Quran, then write it in the dialect of the Quraysh. The Quran was revealed in their tongue. They did so, and when they had written many copies, Uthman returned the original manuscripts to Hafsa. Uthman sent to every Muslim province one copy of what they had copied, and ordered that all other Quranic materials, whether written in fragmentary manuscripts or whole copies, be burnt. Sayyid bin Thabit added, a verse from Surat Azab was missed by me when we copied the Quran, and I used to hear Allah's Apostle reciting it. So we searched for it and found it with Khuzaimah bin Thabit al-Ansari. That verse was among the believers are men who have been true in their covenant with Allah.
So what's the problem here then?
Right. Well, you asked me about what happened to the other Quranic materials.
Yeah,
And
the ones specifically you're asking about Hafsa, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what happened?
And
Well,
you said another thing I
wait,
want to
wait,
correct.
don't
No,
exit the page, yeah?
Yeah.
Because we're going to go back to it, what you just read.
Yeah, no.
So what happened to it?
It was given back to her.
And then what?
It doesn't say, does it?
It does.
What? To that one?
It does.
No, it says what happened to the other copies.
Look. Uthman, ordered Hafsa to give him the manuscript so they can make a copy and return it to her.
Yeah.
After they made the copy, he returned to her.
Yeah.
What happened after that? You read it a second ago.
Yeah, the copies that they made were then distributed.
I'm not disputing about the copies they made.
Right.
I'm talking about the specific ones, the manuscripts that was returned to Hafsa. What happened to it? Uthman ordered what?
No, he said Uthman returned the original manuscripts to Hafsa.
Yes.
Uthman sent to every Muslim province one copy of what they had copied.
Yes, and then?
And ordered that all
ordered what?
That all the other Quranic materials, whether written in fragmentary manuscripts or whole copies, be burned.
So what happened to them?
They got burned.
Thank you.
So what you said, the one which was burned was the one contradicting with what? Did you hear anything there? Uncle, did you hear anything what you were saying?
Yeah,
let's not put words into his mouth, yeah?
No, you said it, that's what I'm asking.
When you asked the question, I said to you it was burnt. What does it say here?
It says that the other ordered that all the other Quranic materials, whether written in fragmentary manuscripts or whole copies, be burned.
It was burned.
Not those which were contradictory. We do not agree with the main Quran. This is what you said.
Yeah, but Hafsa's one would agree.
Sorry?
Listen.
Because that's where they copied it from.
No, what was the original question?
Just what happened to Hafsa's manuscript?
It was burnt.
No, but see, you're just misreading this.
How am I misreading it? When the chief of the believers ordered all copies or fragments, manuscripts to be burnt.
No, it says all other.
Yeah, all other what? From the ones that he standardized, that he made the copy.
Yeah, but remember, he returned to Hafsa. So
what did he return to her? A copy, yeah? The original was returned to Hafsa, and he had a copy, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that copy was compiled in a book, right?
Yeah, but...
So what did he order after that? Everything else to be burned.
Yeah, but what you're doing is you're ignoring the logic.
The logic?
So what's your issue?
The logic,
wait. Let's hear his logic.
The logic is that those manuscripts were copied from Hafsa's one.
Yes, you're right. I'm not disputing
why would
that.
you burn what you just copied? Why would you burn an original you just copied things from? No one does
Brother,
that.
okay, watch this, yeah? I don't want to go into examples and things like that, yeah?
Yeah.
You've got a document. You have the original document.
Yeah.
Yeah? But you have no position within the community, let's say, yeah?
Okay.
And I'm the chief of the community, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Uncle Michael, let me have the original manuscript. We're going to make copies out of it, including the other ones from other people. So we make a book, and then I return that to you.
Yeah.
And then me, as the chief of the community, I order everything else to be burnt. Would yours still be kept, or would it be burnt?
Be kept.
That's your logic. My logic. If I'm the chief, yeah, and I'm telling you to burn everything else, yeah, you burn it.
Yeah, but what I'm going to use is common sense logic based on what the Christians did. Now, you might disagree with this.
Continue. That's my logic. Your logic is different, so let's hear your logic.
Even if that Quran was not banned, what is wrong with that? Because it's not that they were copying what? Mistakes. Those people who were compiling it and canonizing it, they were all Hafaz. They all memorized the Quran.
Yeah, I know that.
So it's not that they were copying mistakes inside. They just wanted to make sure. Even the history, you just cut. Come on, let me finish the point. You see, so you have to understand that we know our history, how the Quran was canonized and all this kind of compile and all that. So it's not like the main Quran Hafsa was holding, there was mistakes in it or something of that nature.
That's not the point I'm talking about.
What is the point you are talking about?
No, what it is, because you must have heard Muslims talking about the two main Christian codex for the Bible.
Yeah.
The Codex and Vaticanus. Yeah. And so those are from the 4th and 5th century, I think.
350 onwards, yeah? So you would be regarded as the 4th century.
Yeah, 4th century.
Yeah.
So they've got those manuscripts which were around before any of this what I'm reading happened, and they've managed to preserve them, and I say obviously because they believe that they're from God. So now
that's fine, yeah? But
right, so
there's
now
350 years between the events taking place and them having the manuscripts written.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about.
Okay,
remember,
continue.
you got to stick with the subject. So, if the Christians, they believed that what they had was so good that they had to preserve it, and they did manage to preserve it because you can go and see pictures of it, and you can go and see the original in the, I think it's the British Library, I think. You can go there and actually see it physically. why is it the Christians from that time, the 350s, preserved what they had, and yet we have this about what Uthman did and gave it back to Hafsa, and even if we say, alright, so let's go with you and say the Hafsa one was burned, what about
Does it mean that it's lost after he was burned?
No, but then those 5 copies that he sent to those provinces,
Yeah.
if they were so serious about Islam,
Yeah.
then it'd be easy for them to preserve it, like how the Sinaiticus and Vaticanus were preserved.
No, you can compare your way of doing things with the Muslims. Okay?
Which is a serious way of preserving our
the Quran.
text.
Listen, the Quran, the way the Quran is preserved, you can't even compare with the Bible. Okay, and we see evidence in both scriptures.
But you see, we were talking about a slightly different subject here.
No, we are not. You are saying that the way they preserved those manuscripts were better than the way the Muslims did theirs, isn't it?
Yes.
And I said no, absolutely not, because the way the Quran is preserved in Islamic history is much better than what happened with the Bible. That's why you got so many contradictions in the Bible, because it's not preserved. If it was that, you even have different books, you know. The Bible, you have different types of Bible which does not agree with each other.
No, but you do realize that what you said is actually the opposite of the fact.
Like,
because you said that because of the contradictions, that shows it wasn't preserved.
Yes.
No, the contradictions are there because, or what people see as contradictions are there because it was preserved. That's the reason why they're there, because no one destroyed them. Don't you see? It's the preservation that caused those writings to be there.
In terms of preservation of the Quran, our history, and I keep on even telling you that Muslims, the way we rely on the memorization, even the Prophet was the first Hafiz, the companions was Hafaz. And even this tradition still go on to this day we are talking about. There are millions and millions of people who memorize all this. So we don't even rely on manuscripts and all this kind of thing. You know, because everything is in the heart of people.
Right. But see, this is
Uncle. Let us. The reason when I came and I wanted to talk to you, I wanted to ask you about why you are rejecting. I wanted to talk about why you don't believe in Islam. You think the Prophet, especially the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, because if the Prophet, I believe, if you believe in the Prophet, if you accept Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam as the final, you would have accept Islam. Because if you believe that the message was really delivered to him by God, then you have no choice to accept it, but you reject. Why?
Because of various things.
Tell me.
What we were talking about here, why is it that the Christians were so much more serious about preserving their writings? And then I know you're saying about recitation.
So are you saying that Muslims were not serious about preserving their scriptures? Is that what you are saying?
Yeah, because these were manuscripts. Manuscripts are expensive, you know. They're not some cheap thing. They're an expensive thing.
When it was canonized, the Quran was written during the Prophet time and during Abu Bakr. You yourself just go through everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you still have problem about it being preserved. That's why the reason why this was canonized, because of the fight in the various, you know, the Kirat. This is what you heard about. This Kirat that brings different conflict of this.
I didn't hear about it. I've actually got Arabic Qurans at home. I can see the difference.
I'm telling you, the Kirat. I'm telling you, the Kirat. We have Kirat, the Sabr al-Haruf.
Yeah, that's what I've got. I've got 3 of them at home.
So yeah, up to now, there are people who even memorize all this kind of thing. You know, this is different variants of Kirat. So, but what I'm saying is that.
But that's a variation, though.
Listen, there's no variation. It doesn't change. It means the same. You know, because we can trace it back to the Prophet. It's not that Muslims are making it up. The Prophet himself sanctioned it, isn't it? The Prophet sanctioned this different Kirat.
I don't know how you done it.
He didn't.
The Prophet didn't.
No, did you want me to explain?
Why?
You see, because you're saying that these Qurats are sanctioned, but here's the problem. what came from Uthman wasn't all the 10 Qurans. That never came from Uthman.
Listen, the Quran was made into one standard so that you can read it in that 10 Qurans, in the way of how the 10 Qurans can be read.
It wouldn't make sense for Uthman to standardize it that way. That would cause confusion.
No, it will not. Because if they were to put the mark, that time you know the marking.
Yeah.
Then that's where the confusion would have come. But without the marks, people can still read it. Okay, people can read it with the various ways of the Quran.
Yeah.
So with the marks, like the Hafs and this, they all have marks where you can read it now. You have the Quran, Hafs Quran, Warsh Quran, and all these various type of.
But here's the thing: you just mentioned Hafs and Warsh.
Yeah.
Do you have an actual Warsh Quran physical?
Yes. Yes.
And you look through the Arabic.
Yes. I'm telling you where I'm going to pray now. It's just that when you go into the masjid, you see Warsh Quran. Trust me, everything is marked. You can read it through the Quran. Trust me.
All right. So
I can I'll take picture, and when I'll show you where is Qatar Mox. If you want, if you come now, we can go there and I'll bring it out and show you.
No, I've got a wash at home.
Yeah, so why are you disputing about it?
Because I've opened the wash, compared to Arabic, and I can see where there's differences.
Nobody's saying that there is no difference.
Oh, so there is difference.
The difference it doesn't change the meaning. Some places you say some say you know the this thing. It complements each other. Okay, it complements each other. I'm not saying why do you say? Listen,
I'll catch up with another one.
All right.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
All right.
This different. Listen, you see where I'm going to play Isha today. The Imam there, he's reciting Warsh. He's from Libya. And that's why I'm going there now to join him to play. So when he reads it, I could hear it. I know he knows various Qira'at. That Imam Muhammad, I'm just going there. So that difference that you are we know where it's occurring in the Quran. Because you are not an expert in the Quran or you don't read Arabic, you don't understand. You just think that it's changing the meaning. It doesn't change the meaning.
Okay, but if a word is missing, does that change the meaning?
Word missing? Yes, of course, if a word is missing.
Well, there you go. So that means there is a difference.
Which word is missing?
No, there's a word, but the problem is I haven't got my... You be here next week?
Word, you mean a word missing in the Warsh Quran or Hafs Quran?
No, it's missing in the Warsh, if I remember.
Which surah? Which surah? I can come on.
No.
I can be frank with truthful. Okay, where you can show me that, I'll let you go. Where you can bring your Warsh Quran, show me the word that is missing. So what happened a year and a half? There is no word missing in the Warsh Quran. Come on.
No, because the reason I bring it is because it's heavy. But
there is no word missing.
If you say you're definitely going to be here next week, I'll bring it.
Uncle, me, I know you made that you don't want, you learn a lot about Islam, you think about Islam and all this kind of things. Then come.
Yeah.
I feel like there's too much pressure on his head.
No, there's no pressure. There are so many people gathering there. What I'm saying is that if you look the message the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam brought, there is no way he would be a false prophet. Okay, there is no way he just look at, even I know you know the history already because you learn a lot about Islam, about Muhammad's life and what he was preaching. Christians want to say, oh, this is satanic and all this kind of thing. The message, do you see any satanic in it? Come on, the message of Islam. What is so satanic about it? Tell me. Worship one God, pray, worship, be kind to anybody. Satan will advise people to do that.
All right, do you want me to go through a list of things which
you find satanic?
Well, problems with Islam, let's say.
Okay, which one? Go through the list.
Okay, number one, if a Muslim goes on a raid and gets some captive women and they're married,
if a Muslim
goes on a raid,
on a raid,
a reward then. Yeah.
You mean jihad? Fighting you are talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And gets some captive women.
Yeah.
And those women are married.
Yeah.
Is he still okay to have a married woman whose husband is alive as a slave? Sorry, to lay with her.
This particular question, I don't know. I have to ask. Do you know any?
Yes, I do know.
Okay, what is your knowledge about it? Because I never really know about that.
Why? See,
do you want to answer or not?
No, but
I don't. This is Sharia. I don't say I know everything about Sharia.
You ask the question.
Yeah, but I don't
do you want the answer or not?
No, but he doesn't. So if you tell him the
I
answer,
said I don't know. That's what
wait,
I'm
wait.
saying.
Okay, that's just a second. Did you hear what he said?
No.
You said you asked the question and you know the answer.
Yeah.
So why are you asking the question if you know the answer?
No, I was going to explain, but I didn't know he didn't know it.
Okay, so explain it to him then.
Yeah.
You said if a woman is captured in a war and the husband is
Still
alive,
Yeah.
what will happen to?
No. Is it okay for that warrior to take the woman and lay with her?
In Islamic point of view, do we have in Islamic in every war we don't capture we don't kill women and all these things?
No. This is a simple question.
You mean if the husband is alive, are we allowed to? Sorry, does a Muslim allowed to have sex with her? Is that what you are asking?
Yeah, if it's a woman captured in a war.
You know, the war slave, there is so many conditions attached to it, okay?
Oh, yeah, no, but
there are so many, but this one I don't know. What is your idea? I don't know about that. I'll let my brother come in. If
No, but he knows the answer, he said.
You know the answer. You know the answer.
He knows the answer he's asking you.
I don't know the answer.
He knows the answer.
Okay,
Let's
let's
hear
see the
his
answer.
answer.
The answer is what?
Alright, so let me see.
It's in Quran, Surah.
Yes, it's 4.
Which Surah?
No, 424.
4, chapter.
An-Nisa.
Surah An-Nisa.
Yeah. See, this is something that, well, since it's in the Quran, every Muslim should be taught this.
No. You
It's in
can.
Quran.
Yes,
You
of
should
course,
be
but not
taught.
everything in the Quran you can know as a Muslim.
But this is a big one.
No. But how do you know that? This is not big to me.
No,
Trust
no,
me.
but to ISIS it's
To
very
me,
big.
this is not big to me. This cannot have my salvation. Okay. To just believe that God is one is more important. To worship Him alone without associating partners with Him.
Now let's hear his answer anyway, yeah?
Alright, so this is Surah An-Nisa 424, and it says, and in brackets, also prohibited to you are all married women except those your right hand possess.
Yeah.
This is the decree of Allah upon you.
That's not how the verse starts, by the way, yeah?
What, you want 23?
No. Okay, read 23.
Alright. So 23 is a bit of...
It's a long one, yeah?
Yeah.
So basically it's telling you the females that are prohibited for you to marry or to engage,
yeah?
yeah? Okay, read 24 now. Yeah?
No, he said if a woman is captured in war,
I know,
and the
I know,
husband, that's what I want to know, because
Let's,
I read so many Surah Nisa, I never heard it.
Go on.
And this one is tricky for me. It's what I don't know.
No, but it's because of the way it's written.
Okay, let's see.
So it says and, well, this part's in square brackets because it's a part of the context.
Okay.
Just read it, yeah.
Yeah, also prohibited to you are all married women except those your right hand possess.
Yeah.
You know the right hand possess. You know it.
Let him finish read it.
This is the decree of Allah upon you.
Yeah.
And lawful to you are all others beyond those, provided that you seek them in marriage with gifts from your property, desiring chastity, not unlawful sexual intercourse. So for whatever you enjoy of marriage from them, give them their due compensation as an obligation, and there is no blame upon you for what you mutually agreed to beyond the obligation. Indeed, Allah is ever knowing and wise. So when it says there,
so you say,
yeah, all right, yeah, all right.
He's recording it. I didn't know that you are recording it.
All right, okay. I mean, if you would, do you want to carry on or?
No, come on, go
on.
So it's capturing you alone, or I'm appearing there?
Well, no, this is, I can just point it out. Yeah, so, and also, right, so when it says married women except those your right hand possesses, do you know what the right hand possess means?
Yes.
Right.
I know the right hand possess.
Yeah.
Those maybe a woman captives in a war,
Yeah.
in a war. But there are certain laws you have to obey before you can do this kind of thing. Because the right hand possession is when you capture women in war. Because this thing was
authorized because there was no prison, you know. So when the women is captured, they can give them to the Muslims to keep them in their houses. So because you are feeding them and doing all this kind of thing to them, definitely, if you can desire sexual intimacy from them. But if they say no, you can't force them, okay? But
who says that?
Through so many tafsir I heard about this particular verse. You know, I know in Ahadith and all that from some of the sheikhs explaining this, okay? And even because if you look at that right hand possession, it's just talking about woman captive that is in your possession, okay? Yeah. So, but you were asking me, oh, what happened to the way you put the question? That's why I told you I don't have a clue, because you want to say that the woman captured husband is still there. So, so what will happen to her? And you say the answer is here. Me, I didn't see any answer there. What you read there, I didn't hear any answer.
But here's the interesting thing that I find though is that so you're coming to me saying that you don't understand why I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
But notice that...
No, I didn't say I don't understand. I said I don't understand why you will believe in those concepts. The concept of God being coming to die.
I already told you. I go by what's in the Bible.
Exactly. So I'm not saying that what you accuse me. This one is totally different. Okay. This is to do with Sharia. And remember when we started, I told you that the Sharia. Sharia has so many people have so many different interpretations of it. I told you about that. So the Sharia, I'm not saying that everybody agree to what is being said. Okay, there are some people they accept, some Muslims doesn't. But this is not our foundation. This is what I'm saying. The main thing to know about who God is, and this is what I was accusing you about. Say you have a problem, because every Muslim know that in Islam every Muslim believes that God is one. The prophet is the last prophet, and you should not associate partners with God. This is why Christians doesn't have that kind of concept, because you have people who doesn't believe in the Trinity, some believe in the Trinity, some doesn't believe in certain things. But let's come back to this. We are digressing. Let's come back here. So the answer is the war captive. That what I know about war captive. When there are, I think, 4 rules concerning war captive. When you capture them, you can release them. If I'm talking in general, with by them taking compensation and release them, or you exchange them with your war captives as well, or you keep them to if they are women, you have the right, because you feed them. And I told you, according to some sheikhs, because there was no prison system in our day, because you can't keep somebody in your house feeding them and doing all this, but you can't harm them. Even if there are certain laws you have to obey. So this is how I see it. But you were saying, am I correct? I hope. But you were saying that if a woman is captured, the husband is there. As long as I would say, I'm using my own reason. If the woman is captured and she's captured and she's in the hands of the Muslim, the man has right. Because that's a right hand possessed. So I don't have problem with it.
All right. So that's one. That's the first thing. So
why does it not make sense? Because they come to fight you. In a war, in our time, we see people, if somebody comes to fight you, to kill you, and you capture that person, you have right to do whatever you want to do to that person.
So what is this? This is the first big division between Islam and the Christians.
Why? So tell me, in Christianity, if you find yourself in such a scenario, are you going to say, oh, you come to kill me, the woman come to kill me, or the man or whoever, are you going to say, go away, go, leave them?
No, he says, Jesus said we shouldn't resist evil, so they'll just come and do whatever they do to us.
Look, he said, I don't even believe it, because you don't believe in that. I'm telling you, if somebody comes to...
No. See, what you're saying is you can't say anything.
Because all this, what Christians go around preaching that, oh, if somebody slaps you, turn the other cheek and all that. Actually, you know that it's all lies. Jesus, that's not what Jesus means.
No. See, what's going? See, this is the big difference between what's in the Bible. and what's in the Quran. You
The
see,
Bible is full of wars. The Bible is full. I can quote you verses in the Bible whereby even God commanded the people of Israel to go and capture and rape young ladies and all that. What are you talking about?
That's not true.
It's there. Do you know the verses? Come on, read that verse. Yeah. Keep the young girl. No, sorry, keep the young girls for yourself.
Yeah.
Is it true or not, Uncle?
Yeah.
Keep the young girls. So what do you have? If this one, which one it makes sense? Touch a man, exactly. I'm misquoting. Yeah, I'm a bit. But it's true. This one is even worse than what you are talking. We are talking about war captives. Somebody who come to kill you, Uncle. Allah is talking about.
It's not worse.
And also add to this, you have to explain to him. Remember, you tell him there's rules. For
yeah, there are rules to follow.
If for example, I'm fighting him as a Muslim,
yeah,
and he captures my wife, and I'm not captured, for example, yeah. It is my duty as a husband to come and say, you know what, there's a compensation, she's my wife.
Exactly.
That's one. Wait, that's one.
Yeah.
Secondly, if the person, yeah, doesn't have the money, he could come and say, look, I'm a poor guy, I don't have anything, yeah, she's my wife. Either you release her with me or I'm coming with her. That's the second one, yeah?
Yeah.
Wait. And if she's married already, yeah, as you said, unless her husband is dead, a Muslim man cannot, because she's under his possession now, he cannot sleep with her, yeah? The fourth one is, the person says, you know what, forget her. The fifth one is, the husband is dead, yeah? So you choose whatever of the five that you want to choose, yeah? Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand that. But,
right, okay.
But
prisoners of war today,
prisoners
that's what they
war.
call them today. That's the term is given to them
the
today.
term.
Yeah, but in reality, they're actually slaves.
Even that time, the reason why all this was...
They've been caught. So once they are being caught, they are stripped from their freedom. So they cannot do what they want to do.
Yeah, but
right. So let's not try to play with the
I don't know why you have
too
problem
much.
with
Prisoners of wars or slaves.
Because now what's in the Quran is current. Whereas all the stuff you quoted to me, that's what the children of Israel did.
Yeah.
And God gave specific orders.
Go on.
So He gave specific people.
Yeah.
Those things should be done to.
What?
Yeah.
And but then were the Israelites authorized to do that to other people, anyone who they came across?
They are enemies. If somebody come to kill them, to fight them, and they capture them, they are not going to harm them, they just let them go. Uncle, what are you talking about? We are talking...
No, are there rules of engagement?
Okay, you see the rules of engagement, what you're talking about, yeah? Are you saying it was only specific for the Malachites and shouldn't be applied to any other wars? Is that what you're applying? Is that what you
are saying?
Yeah, is that what you're saying?
Because that's what God said. He said...
No. What God says, we know it's written.
Yeah.
I'm asking your understanding of it now, yeah? Do you understand from that, it's only specifically and especially for the Malachites only?
Yes.
That's what you understand from it?
No, it's not understanding. I've got evidence to show that is the case.
No, your understanding would come from evidence, of course, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's what you understand, that's what you believe. It's only specifically for the Malachites and nobody else.
No, because there's other orders are given for how you deal with other people.
We don't have problem.
So those orders are what you follow for the other people.
This scenario that you are talking about, if we find ourselves, we know that there is no that kind of thing. But if Muslim, there is a war, a jihad by war, and we go to war and we find ourselves in that situation, we just go back to the Quran and apply it. There's no problem.
Yeah,
and I don't see any problem with it. I'm telling you, my enemy come to kill me, I capture you.
No, give him the other chief.
No, give him other. Come on, Uncle, you know that how many Christians, which Christian nation or which Christian follow this kind of thing? Come on, Uncle. Even in this country that we are living.
Yeah, but you're the one calling a Christian nation. The Bible doesn't.
No, I'm not. I'm just making. I know. Listen, which Christian follow this kind of laws? That will tend the other chicken. All that. We are talking about. We don't have problem.
Let's not go far. You see, when the Crusaders came to Jerusalem, what book were they following? What creed did they have?
The Pope.
Huh?
The Pope.
No, I said their creed. What was it? What faith did they belong to?
Whatever the Pope.
They were Christians. Just say that, Uncle.
What book were they following?
I don't know. It wasn't Jesus, that's for sure.
Is there a book called Jesus now? There's a book called Jesus now.
No, he's writing.
I said, what book were they following?
No, they weren't following any book when they came.
So they named in the name of cross just like that. They just chose a cross because they like the shape.
No, this is my opinion.
So, bro,
is that they
your
were
opinion?
Not, yeah, is
that
they
that's
were
your
not
opinion.
But
history and
so
evidence
Uncle, are you saying
otherwise.
that? Are you saying that
as Christians, if somebody comes to attack you and you capture them, you just gonna let them
no,
go
we
free.
wouldn't capture them because it says that we should love our enemies.
So if somebody comes to kill you, you're gonna love that person.
Yeah, that's what we're being ordered to do.
Come on, uncle, you know that this is not true. Uncle,
No,
come on, uncle, come on. No, this is, Jesus said he did not come for peace, you know, he came with a sword.
No,
you know that?
You're reading it, you're just jumping around.
No, I'm not. You know that which Christian nation? I came from a predominantly Christian country. And they are there. Nobody do that. No, they all read the Bible. I'm telling you, they're killing each other there. What are you talking about? No Christian do this kind of thing that you are to 10 the other day, slap you on the 10 other day.
Okay.
We don't have problem. And you see the verse is there. If we find ourselves in that situation, we just apply it.
Yeah.
It's easy and it makes logical sense. No, everybody will agree. It's just that you don't want to accept. Why will somebody come to attack me and I capture that person? Even if I kill that person, I don't have problem, my friend, because he came to kill me.
Then just let me explain.
Go on then.
So this is Matthew 5:43. It says, "You have heard that it had been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the
conversations
good,
with people, so I just thought I'd leave
and
it
send
to
his rain on the just and on the unjust.
Okay.
For if ye love them which
He's
love
trying
you,
his best, yeah?
what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same?
He's getting nowhere.
And if ye salute your brethren only, what do ye more than others? Do not even the publicans do so? Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
That's what we're
So
talking
the
about
reason
here.
why we love our enemies is not to be like God.
So, uncle, are you telling me that if I come to your house and kill your wife, and come to attack your wife, kill your wife, rip your children, do all these harmful things to you, you still
No
gonna
matter how
love
many
me?
times you explain it to them, they will still come
So,
back and
no,
ask the
are
same
you gonna
question
love
again.
me? Tell me,
Just
uncle.
it's the same
Do you know what love means?
Love means to tolerate what somebody did, to show kindness, towards that compassion towards that person. So I came and rip your wife, rip your children, kill them.
It doesn't mean that.
No, that's what you are.
No, that's your version.
No, I'm saying that if I did that to you,
Yeah.
I'm giving you as an example. If I did all these things to you, are you still gonna embrace me and show me love?
That's not what love is.
So what
What
does
is
love
love
mean? Wait,
then?
wait. What
Tell
does
me
love
what
mean?
love means.
Love is when you do things for people.
So
What
what are you
about
gonna
when
do
people
to
do something for you?
Yeah, so
Sorry,
if-
not
if
for
it-
you, to you.
Yeah, so if you forgive them, that's love.
That's love, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, okay, watch this now, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Does God love me? Does God love me?
That's between you and him.
Alright,
It's nothing
no,
to do with
no,
it.
according to the
your-
Bible,
according to your
according to the
Christian
Bible, it says God doesn't love sinners, yeah? And I'm a sinner.
Right.
So does God love me?
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to answer that question, but he has shown love to you.
No, he has shown love to me.
Alright, yeah,
no, that's
yeah,
not
so-
possible.
so that's-
I
that's-
said,
that's how-
listen to my question, Uncle
Yeah.
Michael. I said, I'm a sinner today, now, yeah? Does God love me today?
Well, that's between you and him. See, I'm not going to talk for God.
Okay,
So-
okay. Just a second question, yeah? God has created the heavens and hell, or Hades, whatever you want to call it, yeah?
Which
If
people
I'm
are-
a sinner, would God put me in heaven?
No.
Or would he punish me like in hell for eternity?
No, he punish you.
So
Is
is
that
it like
showing love?
No, it's because he's a judge.
But you said God is love.
You say, uncle, you are just catching yourself.
If a judge is showing love
Yeah,
to a victim,
but by punishing me, he's showing me love.
no,
So
Exactly.
God told you one thing in the Bible to
I tell you
tolerate
what.
your what?
Take
Your
30
enemies.
seconds.
And you are
Yeah.
telling me that God will not do that to me?
Take 30 seconds.
Come on, uncle. Does it make sense?
Take 30 seconds to think about your answer and then give it to me. But God punishing me, he's showing me love. That's my question to you. So you give me the answer now.
no. See what it is. You're trying to be too specific.
No, you can't ask me how to be. I'm asking a general question. I'm a
be-
sinner today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and God, it states in the Bible, God doesn't love sinners. You telling me God is love. So I'm saying to you, okay, no problem.
I'm not cutting you.
but
I'm not cutting you.
but I
I
never
just want
said
to
that,
say
though.
something very important. Listen, you said, who authorized the Bible that God said, love your enemy? Who authorized it? Who authorized this
I
thing?
will do to the ones who are deserving.
It was given
Who
to
are
us.
deserving.
By who?
Yeah? So the question, but
By
they don't
people
say
from
this.
before.
They say God is just
Is it
love.
not by
is
God?
love.
Is it not inspired by ways of God?
But That's the
this
thing. If
a
God is
statement,
love
love your
and he's going
enemy.
to judge you,
Show them
if
love.
you make
Is it
it
not
to
God's
heaven,
statement?
no problem.
Jesus
God is
said.
all
Yeah,
loving. Yeah,
but Jesus is
but
God.
what happens if he punishes me?
But
and he puts
Jesus
me
is
in hell
God,
for
you
eternity?
believe?
For
Son of God.
eternity.
Son of God.
Yeah.
He is
Is that showing me
divine.
love?
And he's getting this from his father, isn't he?
Yeah.
So it is coming from the
Obviously
father. That's
not.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Uncle
He's
John,
showing his
please just
wrath.
answer this question.
To
So
everything
if
there's
this,
the opposite.
this
They don't
statement is
believe that.
authorized
That's
by
the
God
problem.
for you to love your enemies,
Yeah.
why will
Some
then
people-
God
some
punish me if
Christians, they
I
say
die as a sinner?
they don't
to
believe
put
in
me
it.
in
They don't believe
hellfire.
in
Then
this is
God is
hell. That's
contradicting
personally,
himself in your belief.
I believe
Uncle.
most people will
He
go
said,
to
love
heaven.
your
Do you
enemies.
believe that?
Yeah, that's what I said.
people.
God said, love your enemy. Meanwhile, if the brother, my brother is asking you, if I die as a sinner, God is going to put me in hellfire. That's why he created the hellfire, hell. Because he doesn't like love sinners.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with me loving my enemies?
That's why I say, why will God ask you to love your enemies? Meanwhile, he doesn't love his enemies by putting them in hellfire. This is what I'm saying. That is contradicting, Uncle.
No, I can you want me to explain that?
Yeah, explain.
All right, when we look at society in general,
After the prophet,
do
this is a
people
message
want to
came.
have peace and happiness, or do they just want to have trouble all the time?
Of course, peace and harmony.
All right, so if we go by what I just read here,
No, Uncle, my time is not there again. Trust me. I just want you because I'm going to. I'm going to. Trust me. What I'm saying, what I'm not understanding, Uncle. Listen, God, all what you are reading, love your enemies, turn the other cheek, is coming from the loving God. You know, but God, as the brother said, will not tolerate sinners. He will put them in hellfire. So why will God do that?
no, because what you're doing is, I'm reading something about what we should do, and now you're trying to turn it on God.
No, because
That's
God
what you're doing.
authorized this statement. This is not coming from you. This is not coming from you, Uncle.
Yeah.
This statement is authorized by God.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm saying that if God love is unconditional. Is God love unconditional?
See, what you're doing is you're taking statements you've heard and trying
Wait,
to.
no, you see, you are bringing that statement again. It's not that I'm just using my logic to reason with you.
No, I've heard that. No, the
I,
people.
because Christians,
Yeah,
even,
you've heard it from Christians. Yeah.
Listen to it. Christians are preaching about love as if Christianity is all about love, tell you the other cheek and all
Yeah.
this. Meanwhile, they are not following it. If you look at every Christian, even you, I'm telling you, if I hit you now or go and hit a Christian, they will start to fight back. Nobody is going to do that. Where is the truth in it? Come on, Uncle, you know what I'm talking
that's your
about.
opinion.
Not my opinion. That is the truth.
No, it's your
I'm-
opinion.
do you want me to start and hit somebody you see? A Christian, yeah. Uncle, come on.
But you realize what you're doing, though. You're showing
I'm telling
me.
you, I go to Ghana where I'm from, predominantly, I see Christians fighting each other, fighting each other in the family. Why are they not turning the other cheek? Fighting, come on, Uncle. Whatever is happening, I'm not saying that. Why do you preach something you don't practice? It doesn't make sense.
So I don't practice.
Uncle, I'm not directing it to you if you are like, but I'm saying that what you believe, this is concocted. This is not what Jesus means. Because
All right,
if
okay,
Christianity, let me tell you, Christianity would have wiped out if
All right.
you were to follow this teaching. You know the history of Christianity.
Let's go with what you're saying.
Yeah.
That this is made up, and what people should do is instead fight if they're attacked.
You mean
No. This is what you believe is that when a person's attacked, they should fight.
If somebody comes to attack you,
Yeah.
you fight back.
All right. Okay.
I
So
believe that.
okay, that's fine. So
Yeah.
say you're in you made it to paradise.
Yeah.
And you're up there.
Yeah.
And you know everyone's living forever, and no one's ever gonna die.
Yeah.
If someone, for whatever reason, decides to attack you, what would you do?
That's why I told you, you have to understand, when we are in paradise, God tells us that there will never be evil again. There is no fighting. So the question you are asking is illogical. In paradise, let me finish. In paradise, there is no evil, there is no jealousy, there is no deficiency. Everything is going to be perfect design. That's what paradise is. So, how am I going to fight again?
Where is that written?
In the Quran, in the Hadith, I'm talking about Islamic paradise. I'm not talking about biblical. In paradise, Islamic belief, everything is in heaven. There is no evil again. It's just about enjoyment. Nobody will have that desire, the desire that Allah put on us to test us. Islamic paradise, there is no evil. There is no fighting. You don't even sit down to think evil. So if you don't even think evil, are you gonna fight?
Okay, so if in paradise you don't, you can't do those things.
Yeah.
So why is it you can't do them?
Because now we are the joy, because this joy Allah promised us. We passed the test. Now we are not going to suffer again. We are not going to have any deficiency. Everything is going to be in eternally bliss. Everybody is going to enjoy. So there is no evil. This evil, that's why the first thing Allah will do, those who make it to paradise, is to kill death. Death is not there, no evilness. Nobody, we are all going to be beautiful. Nobody is going to have deficiency.
All right. So
this is what I'm saying.
All right. So will people be able to be angry?
No. And that's why you see, Uncle, you are still asking unnecessary questions.
No, they're important questions. They're important.
I just explained it to you that, Uncle, in paradise, nobody will have evil mind. God will remove everything. So that that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so this is what I'm after. So,
yeah.
So as far as you're concerned,
yeah,
in the Muslim paradise,
yeah,
God is going to change something physically about the person's mind.
Listen, the way God we were in this world, well, God is going to recreate us. Okay, but even listen, Islamic paradise, when you don't sleep, you don't go to toilet.
I know that, but I'm talking about the mind.
The mind, our mindset, everything is going to be changed to perfection.
No, the actual mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There is no evilness. God you will not even sit down to think about evil towards anybody.
All right. So what you're saying is that the emotions will actually be changed.
Yes.
So
exactly. Islamic belief.
Okay. So he's going to physically, essentially make us like robots.
We are going to, not robots.
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Now there is no argument. There is no fighting.
Yeah,
everything, our way of doing things, the perfection people want. There is no evil. The atheists who are disbelieving in God now, those who are atheists, this is the question they always ask. Why is there evil and all this kind of thing? In Islamic paradise, the next world, all these things is not going to be there again.
All right. So if this it sounds like you're saying there's some sort of mind control is going to happen. So why is it Allah couldn't do that now?
Because the reason why we are being tested now, we are being put on all. God give us these deficiencies to test us and show and guide us, and He showed us the right way what to do. But He put all this evil and these deficiencies in us.
Wait! You just said put evil.
I say I'm not saying God listen to what I don't take my words out of context. I'm saying that God, the reason why there is evil and all this kind of is to test us. Okay,
right.
That's why God tell us what to do. He gives us the guidance. There is satanic forces. There is this nafs. That's you hear so many times. Our desires. So in the Islamic paradise, we are not going to have this kind of thing. So God is going to recreate us.
All right. So you're saying those desires are just going to be removed from you?
Yeah, this nafs that we follow to do evil and all this kind of thing, it's not going to be there. Everybody's going to. Allah says in Surah Zumar, in the last, I wish I could show you that we are going to be saying salam to everybody. Nobody will even have evil mind. Yes, God is going to change our mindset, everything. Right. So the question you are asking is not valid. Uncle, let me go and pray. I will see you next week. I'm off. I'm on holiday, so I'll be here.
Okay. No, you be here next week.
Yeah, Sunday I'll be here.
All right. So if you're gonna come, I can bring the
Quran.
Bring
the Quran. We'll check it out.
All right.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Bro, I'll see you.
Yeah, you got it.
Take care.
Yeah. All right.
No.
We can even look at it from a standpoint of the perpetuation of the human race. Human race wiped out within the first generation. Because there's no pain, feeling.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like I said, it's not simple. But the action together This is where we make no discrimination between gay, lesbian, transgender. The duty is Islam. No, I don't need to. It's all into the word to a word. You know why?
And I'll give it in Arabic and I'll translate it for you. And you should have it. Worship others with God, but he shall make it less than that to whoever he pleases. So if a person is homosexual or transgender on the day of judgment, know what we say? They're under the machine of Allah. Allah may choose like any other sinner. Like any other sinner. So I would choose Islam. Allah said, isn't it? Muhammad is in heaven. What do you do in heaven? Allah is Islam. So that's what I'll choose. Unfortunately, what the duty is to call the Christians. You should go to Islam.
In the Quran,
from them, and in the life after this, they'll be amongst the losers. And this is why we believe that all the prophets and messengers before Muhammad were Muslims. I might fall into Remember your friends you mentioned when you look at the I don't know how to solve it. I can't think of the Odyssey. Why Muhammad only took 6
إذا علينا ليش ما علمنا إياها؟ قال الله عز وجل.
Populated in the 4th century AD. The creed was a result of a controversy which raged from the 2nd to the 4th century and beyond. It said, they are following the creed which you will not find about. It said, we worship one God in Trinity and Trinity in unity. Neither confounding the persons, nor dividing the substance. So there is one person of the Father, another of the Holy Ghost. But the Godhead of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost is all one. The glory is one, the majesty co-eternal. Such as the Father is, such is the Son, and such is the Holy Ghost. The Father is eternal, the Son is eternal, and the Holy Ghost eternal. So likewise, the Father is almighty, the Son is almighty, and the Holy Ghost almighty. So the Father is God, the Son is God, and the Holy Ghost is God. Correct. Yet there are no three gods. Correct. Correct. The Father is made of one, neither created nor begotten. Correct. Only one God only. There's only one God. It's only Father alone, not made, not created, but begotten. The Holy Ghost is of the Father and of the Son. Neither not made, not created, nor begotten, but proceeding. And in this Trinity, none is before or after other.
God is one
is greater.
God never dies, he's not a man. God is immortal. God is immortal.
So that, as I said, guys, the
read your Bible.
In Trinity,
Read your first Genesis. Read your Genesis. Go Matthew 61 to 6. God is one. God is one. God's one only. God's one. Jesus prayed to the Father.
The concept is in Athanasius not in the Bible.
You're going to see now. Deaf, dumb, and blind you're going to be.
The Spirit of the Lord.
Allah said, say, open the book, say, oh, do some Christian that come to common terms as we as a you. Allah Nabuda in Allah, that we worship the Lord Allah. That we associate no partners with him. That we elect us from among ourselves, those who are patriots that are Allah, fight Allah. But if they turn away, so Kulus Adu, then say, bear witness, be now Muslimun, Muslims bound to Allah's will.
Okay, thank you very much for having us. Lamin, I've saw some of the video. I've been challenging the Dawa team. I was really boasting that the Christian cannot run away from a Muslim because we believe we have the truth. And then our scriptures is backed from the Old Testament. The New Testament without the Old Testament, it has no validity. What validates the New Testament is the Old Testament. Because Christ came, the word it says, I came to fulfill the prophet, the law and the prophet, meaning what it was written. And then people shall be judged also for refusing or rejecting what was written. So Jesus, that's where he began. And why he began, he adopted the language of the Old Testament. There had never been any prophet from Moses until Jesus ever called God being his father. Jesus is the only one who this language that he knows God, he has seen his form, and he knows how heaven is, how many mansions are there. And he was even saying that to his apostles, when before he was crucified, he's going to prepare a place, and he will come and receive them to himself. So where he is, they will also be. So he was describing heaven, how it is. There are many places, but he wanted them to be with him. So he was claiming his pre-existence before him being incarnate in the flesh. But again, we can, just to summarize, if I can go in the book of Micah, just to summarize, in the book of Micah 5:2, you will see what he was saying, what was said about him in the prophecies. In the prophecies, what was said about him. trying to get the verse. What was he saying to him? But then, when he was to be born, because God is not a God of confusion, he needed to reveal to the world who was to be born from where he was from. So that's why we see the divinity of Christ.
That's why it goes back on to say.
I've been asked, bring your 11th. He's been asked, so that's
some historians, they don't use this because they say it's a form of cultural bias. So we cannot use it.
This non-contradiction is always true.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
Cannot be.
Yes.
Okay. Have you heard of the liar paradox? The liar paradox is if someone says to you that I'm lying. This statement can be either right or wrong.
That's right.
Can be either right or wrong.
Of course.
If it's right, and he is really lying, which means he's saying the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. Which means he didn't lie to you. So how come he's saying the truth but at the same time he's lying to you? I mean, it's a really complicated, but the liar paradox actually shows that
I'm not sure that contradicts the law of the excluded middle. I don't think that it contradicts the law of the excluded middle.
I'm not talking about excluded middle.
It's the same as the law of non-contradiction. It's the same, it's just another way of referring. I'm not sure that contradicts that. I don't see why it would. But okay, fair enough. It doesn't change my point. There is still objectivity.
Yeah, it's your opinion. I agree.
Well, no, I think it's objectively true.
You think that? I think that's a law that I cannot prove.
That's fine. You can't prove it. Next time you sit down on a maths test at school, do you do mathematics in the material form?
Yeah.
In university or school?
Yeah, I do maths.
Make up the maths. And when your teacher says this is incorrect, you say, sorry, you perceived it the wrong way. And see what they say.
No, that's wrong. When I
How's
say,
that wrong?
Let me tell you what.
I want to see what they said.
Let me tell you what.
I'll give you my email,
let me tell you
and
what.
you can get back to me and see what they said.
Let me tell you what. When I say math is relatively true, it does not mean that it's wrong.
I didn't say it was
it's
wrong.
It's true to us. It can never be wrong.
I didn't say it was
You're saying
wrong.
objectively true outside of our brain house.
No, I said the language of mathematics is objectively true.
Oh, where did you get this from? It's relative to us humans. We think that.
No, I think we have a different understanding of what objective means.
I think.
Okay, these truths exist objectively. If every single human being dies.
Are you saying that it doesn't
One
exist?
second.
Are you saying
One second,
please.
1 second, please. If this tree exists objectively, if every human being dies, that tree still exists objectively.
I don't think so.
You don't. We have a different understanding.
You know what?
Of
You know what?
objectivity.
You know why? You know why?
No, we have a different understanding.
Okay, no problem. That's fine. But
That's
can I
fair
tell you
enough.
why? Can I tell you why? Because when you say this objectively exists, this is a relative truth according to how
That's not
you see it.
objectivity.
No, I'm not saying what objectivity is. I'm saying.
In the Bible, God Yahweh is a father.
I still don't understand it. Yeah, exactly. I can't be bothered.
No, the viewers will see. They will see how, when he said to Moses, Deuteronomy 18:18, I was happy. I said, that's all. No God incarnate, thank you. You'll see. You'll see.
Exactly.
Yeah. Going to verses that has nothing to do with Jesus, the Old Testament. It's just fake.
It goes about 500 times, Bob. This guy, brother.
Nothing.
So you remember, you said you were going to tell me about the glorious Quran, didn't you, last week, was it? You said you were going to tell me something about the glorious Quran or something. So that's what you said.
I can't remember. What did I say?
Yeah, when I first came in the afternoon.
You come late when I'm tired now. My voice is gone.
Voice is gone.
I'm tired, I'll be on my feet for one, when I come and debate sometimes 6 hours. From 1 to 1. We made it 1 year.
And my feels tired as well.
I said I'm going to I'm going to show you about the Bible. I've got contradiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said yeah.
Okay. But then you say they're contradictions. But here's the interesting thing.
The Quran has no contradiction. Quran, only one Quran. No addition, no deletion. Only one Quran. You have several Bibles and there are addition, deletions. Maybe you got King James version, one got NIV, Revised Standard Version. No,
those are translations.
There is no original scripture. The original scripture is not there. We only have a translation. The only translation we have.
No, you've heard of Codex Sinaiticus.
Bring it here.
Yeah, he did a lot of quotes. He spent about 1 hour, 15 minutes quoting with the Bible and the Quran.
It's online. You can go on the website and just find and read through it.
I know, yeah. What did he say? What did he say?
No, that's the original. That's one of the original scriptures that you're talking about.
That's the original one. It's non-existent.
So what are those manuscripts?
Manuscripts, no, yeah, that's the thing. The original one, the Bible I've got today, the Bible I've got today is not.
That's it. That's it.
You need to read your Bible, you man. Gave you 3 parts of the Bible and 1 Quran. And I'm saying no,
you've been reading the Bible out of context. I show you the problem is the prophet. This guy is just lost. You are so blinded, man. We shall see. We shall see.
The first time, how many been of his own opinion? Nothing at all.
Yes. Well, yeah, it would be about 2 years. Almost 3 years.
You have debate with
Yeah, we spoke before. We know each other.
What's your number then?
Mine, it's 078.
Razak is at home, man.
468.
Answer the phone, man.
Anyway, I haven't asked you this. Why do you believe Islam is... Or were you...
I'm so tired now.
No, but were you a Christian before you became Muslim?
No.
Huh?
I was never a Christian, a Muslim.
Alright.
I started comparing religious studies years ago. Because I was fed up with Christian, especially about African pastors. Jesus is the God, Jesus loves you. So I said, I need to start studying.
So you didn't read the Bible properly, so that's why you don't like the Christians?
Sorry?
Because you didn't read the Bible properly.
Who did it?
Well, you.
Why?
You'd have been able to work out those pastors were fake, isn't it?
Sorry?
You'd have been able to work out that those pastors were fake. You would have been able to work out that those pastors were false.
Of course.
Yeah, so then...
before I started comparing religious studies, I couldn't work out because I didn't read the Bible, I didn't know anything. So when I called the Quran, I said Quran. So I didn't know about concept of Trinity, all these things. So more than 10 years ago, I started studying the Bible, started proper comparative religious studies. But before I knew, I talked about it. I said, look, I don't believe it. We don't believe in the Quran, but they quote the Bible. They quote 1 John 5:7, John 1:1, and all those things. But I didn't study the Bible before. I can only read. Yeah.
But those religious studies, where do you get those studies from? Who teaches you? Who teaches you those comparative religious studies?
Who teaches me?
Yeah.
I taught myself.
All right. Okay. So
I got my inspiration. Hamad Didat and Dr. Naik.
Right.
Those are my teachers.
Okay.
So they are my teachers.
All right. So that's why you believe that when it comes to sacrifice, it's related to what it says in Leviticus 4 about bringing the doves and the animals, etc. You know, about Jesus dying.
Say it again.
No, you know when it comes to the sacrifices that the children of Israel has to bring, and in relation to Jesus having to die and give his blood.
But what I'm saying, that concept, where did you get it from? Is Paul. When he said that, when I said that, you said what I'm saying, unless you tell me that two gods or God changed his mind. Because when he got, I'm telling you Jesus himself. Look, quote me a verse, because when Moses left, Jesus came as a Messiah. Yeah. When he came here, what did he say? Did he say to them that because of sin of Adam and Eve, sin entered into the world, and because of that I have to come as a sacrifice? No, Moses never said that to the children of Israel. I just told him that. What did Moses say to the children of Israel? He quoted Deuteronomy 18:18. That's it, nothing else. A prophet. He never said sacrifice there.
Yeah, so what's happened is that...
So
No, so the problem is, it's because you learned it from Ahmad Didat and Zakir Naik.
Not only that, a lot of, look, I try to compare religious studies, not only those two people.
Yeah, but they haven't taught you like the proper about the relationship between Leviticus and Jesus. So, because if they'd have taught you that, the proper relationship...
No, where do you get that from? The relationship between Leviticus and Jesus, where do you get that from?
No.
About sacrifice, where do you get that from?
No,
where do you learn from that from?
The details are explained in Hebrews.
Well, in Hebrews, when you go to the Jews of today, any Jew today, you ask them, any Jew in their book, you're writing from English, would they tell you that Jesus, God sent him on the earth for a sacrifice? They will laugh at you. Go to Rabbi Tonga. Let me go to Rabbi Tonga here. You tell Rabbi Tonga. They won't believe. Christianity, your Bible has nothing to do with that. You cannot use the Old Testament, say Jesus, Isaiah 9:6 and all those Isaiah 40. You cannot.
Yeah, but
it's a made-up religion, and the Bible, all these things are talking about, it's Paul.
That's because the Jews are confused.
Okay,
do you want me to explain?
They're confused. They're scripture. You know their Bible. You know the Old Testament more than them. The Jews of today. You know the Old Testament in their language.
No, it's their misunderstanding of it.
You understand it more than them? Better than them? Who taught you? Where did you get that from? Who taught you?
No.
Why did you get that from their misunderstanding?
No, because I spoke to some Jews for an hour. You want me to tell you?
Tell me.
I spoke to some
You
Jews
cannot speak their language. You're following the English translation. You're reading. Oh, that has been changed.
I was speaking to the Jews in English, and when I spoke to them, I brought up the different references to the coming Messiah in the Old Testament, and when they were explaining it, when I came with each verse and listened to their explanation, they actually had a different explanation for the different occurrences. So one time they were telling me that the Messiah, when he described it, that he was an angel. Next thing they're telling me that he's going to be a king of Israel. So let me finish. So they're actually confused. So those Jews...
The one you spoke to.
Yeah, the one I spoke to. It's two of them.
No, the Jews scholars don't. About the scholars. Just like you go to ordinary Muslim who doesn't know.
No.
Or ordinary Christian. They don't know. When you go to a scholar.
They weren't ordinary.
But they're ordinary.
No,
go to Rabbi Tonga, who is a scholar. It's on you. Rabbi Tonga, who will break everything, every verse. He will break and explain to you. Rabbi Tonga, go.
Okay, so you've listened to him.
Yeah, he's a scholar.
All right, so has he explained to you about the Son of Man who came in the clouds in Daniel 7? Has he given an explanation for that?
Son of Man? No, I don't know.
You see, that's the problem. So when I was talking to these Jews, I went through
tell me, how do you know that? No, look, go and see. Google it out, Rabbi Tonga. You explain that to you.
Yeah, but if he doesn't explain it.
No, he explained it. Not when you properly, like, to your satisfaction.
Yeah, but I thought you.
Rabbi Tonga will tell you that has nothing to do. Isaiah 9:6. Some quoted, in fact, Isaiah 9:6. Are you mad? King Ezekiah, I'm talking Christians. Isaiah 9:6. unto us a child, but unto us a son is given. The government will be on his shoulder, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. They called that, in fact, that's Jesus. You always go to the Old Testament. Forget about that, about this sacrificial Jesus being come down to die on the cross for mankind.
All right. So
if he was to come, maybe he come to die or what? Maybe to the children of Israel, not to the Gentiles.
All right. So let me explain another way they're confused.
Not to the Gentiles, no.
No, that's fine. So let me explain another way they're confused. So I was speaking to Josh, and I know some people might disrespect him, but he's a student, and I don't disrespect him. And I asked him about this. You know what I'm telling you about the Leviticus, where it's talking about the Day of Atonement?
Yeah.
See, if you don't read about that properly, you won't understand what Hebrews is talking about. And I asked him, so this Day of Atonement, what replaces it? And you know that what he told me is that they don't have a proper replacement. So the problem they have is that without actually acknowledging Jesus, they're in trouble.
No,
they are.
I said to you, if you ask them, any Jew.
I did.
Yeah, what I'm saying about these verses you are quoting to relate it to Jesus, that's the thing. They will explain to put their context to you. But what I'm saying, if Jesus, why would Jesus, if Jesus, God sent him to die on the cross for the sin of mankind, and then he knew that, why was he praying to God to save him? It doesn't make sense. Why was he praying? Answer that to me. Why was Jesus praying fervently for God to save him? Answer that for me.
And how did he end the prayer?
Do you know the verses? I'm asking. No. Do you know Jesus?
You know
I'm quoting. But do you know Jesus prayed to God to save him?
Yes.
Do you know it?
Yes.
Do you know the verses? Do you know the verses?
Well, there's two lots where he.
Which one? Tell me, which one is it?
No, you can go to the Matthew one. But you know it already. You just tell me.
No, it's your Bible that said you're asking a Muslim. I want you to so that I can put the context. If you know, I don't want to know. When I ask Christians, I want to say whether they have studied their Bible. Yeah, when they say something. Yeah, I know you're not a Christian, but if you study your Bible, you carry that all the time. You should be more conversant with it than me. You should be teaching me.
No, please.
Yeah.
No, but what you do.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, if Jesus, what I'm saying is all these things come from Paul. Is it crucifixion, resurrection? It's only in Paul's writings you find it. The divine Jesus, only in Paul. In Paul, yeah. When Jesus is crying, said, now Father, my heart is troubled. What shall I say? Father, save me from this hour. Why was he crying?
I was born.
No,
that's why he says.
What did he say?
All right,
yes, that's what he said.
Why?
Completely. But for this reason, I was born. Why am I troubled?
All right, so
no.
You
know where I'm coming from. You don't even know.
Don't run after him.
You're running.
All right, so let's read it.
You don't even know
so this is Matthew 26 and 38. And he said unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me. He went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. And he cometh unto the disciples and findeth them asleep, and said unto Peter, what could ye not watch with me in 1 hour? Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. He went away the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done. And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. And he left them and went away again and prayed the third time, saying the same words. And he cometh to his disciples and said unto them, sleep on now, and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed unto the hand of sinners. Okay, so I read it, so what's your point?
So what was it? What? Could you explain that to me?
Yeah, okay. So you want me to break it down?
Yeah, break it on John 12.
No, I'll break this one down first.
I'll break that first.
All right. So he went a little further, fell on his face. So he fell on his face and prayed, saying, "O my Father," so he's praying to the Father, "if it be possible," so he's asking the Father a question, or he's making a supplication, "if it's possible, let this cup pass from me." So he's making a request.
You know the cup here is crucifixion.
Yeah, so he's making a request. But attached to the request, he's saying this, "Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt." So what he's saying is that he wants things to happen according to how the Father wills. So he's a faithful servant. So what's your point?
You say it again.
Okay, I'll read it again.
You say he wants to explain your explanation. Give me your explanation. He said he wants.
Yeah, okay, look, he says, he prays, oh my Father, so he's praying to the Father, if it be possible, so he's making
Let the cup pass from me, to prevent the crucifixion.
Yeah.
The cup is a crucifixion.
Yeah, but we can't ignore everything else, can we?
No, you can go.
Yeah,
No, I know. Read the rest and see what I mean. Okay,
Yeah.
go on.
Oh my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. So he's made his request, isn't it?
Yeah.
But now he's going to attach something to the request. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. So he's being a faithful servant by saying it can only happen according to the Father's will.
Was it answered? Was his prayer answered?
Yeah, so the
prayer was answered.
Yeah, because
then he did not die then.
No.
The prayer was the answer was not answered.
You're not letting me answer. You're not letting me answer though.
Go on.
You want me to speak?
Speak.
Okay, he said a part of the request was not as I will, but as thou wilt. So was that part of the request answered?
Okay, yes, let's say yes. So was the prayer answered or not answered?
Yeah, it was answered because that request where he says not as I will, but as thou wilt.
So that means that he did not die then? He did not die.
No, he said that God should do things according to his will, and God answered his prayer by doing it according to his will. You don't understand? That's what English means. That's what he said.
And John 12:27 said, now my heart is troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour.
Right.
John 12:27. Explain that as well. Now my heart is troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour.
Oh, yeah, you're misreading it, man.
No,
no. What you're doing?
Which Bible? Which Bible?
No.
I got a Bible. Which Bible is that?
All right, you just get your Bible out. I'll show you.
No, he's asking questions. I'm tired. He's asking. Come. Now, yeah, if you want to, that's the thing. I'm here. Come on, if you want to ask questions. No. You come to where? No, I thought you wanted to record this guy. Where are you going? Where are you going to eat? Far away. It's far. No. 10 minutes walking. Yes, 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Brother, 10 minutes.
Family, that's the thing. Things to do. I'm going down this. I'm doing preparation.
Yeah, that's why you have to come with us. We're going to Gambia. 10 minutes.
Come, bro. Let's go.
Where is Abdul Razak?
Abdul Razak is gone. Let's go now. I'll come back next week, inshallah. Then Guji, I'm not going to leave Market. When he come next week, I'm going to say the Quran or the Bible. Which one is important? The Bible.
You are from Gambia. You are from Gambia. Gambia. You are from
Gambia.
MashaAllah. All are now Islam. Yeah, coming to Islam. Mufti Mang, you know Mufti Mang?
Oh yeah.
Oh Allah, I'm going to Dubai. Yes. Even Dr. Jackie Mang, they are many African people now. In the morning time?
He's quoting, I'm surprised. But when he said the only that Moses thank you very much, Prophet.
What did Mufti Mang say? In the morning, southern mosque is full. MashaAllah, in our Bangladesh, only one in first row.
Bangladesh, majority of Muslims.
95%
Muslims, yeah. Bangladesh, yeah. 95%.
But then.
Okay, anyway, so yeah, this 27, you're misreading it.
What?
No, because you see, he's got a question mark there. Did you notice that?
What question mark is that? Who put that one there?
So what Jesus is doing is making a statement.
What he said? What statement? Tell me.
No, he says 27 says, "Now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say?" So he's asking them, he's saying to them, what should they say?
Hold. Yeah.
And it says, so what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour.
Why did he say that? What shall I say? Answer it. Question after. What shall I say is a question. Yeah. When somebody says something in a book, anywhere, what shall I say should be question mark. He's asking a question. What shall I say is a question. He answered it. He answered, Father, save me from this hour.
And then what does he say after that? Keep going.
What did he say? What did he say?
No, you're the one who's quoted it. So you,
No, what did he say? Tell me. No, it's
No,
clear.
but see, this is the thing. So you're trying to be clever by not finishing the verse, isn't it? Just finish the verse.
Okay, go ahead. I'm so tired now to be honest. This guy.
But you keep
We
doing
had
that.
we had a debate in Brixton. We had a debate in Brixton, and what and then
Every time, brother,
you got to see yourself.
No,
whatever. If you answer this one, will you accept
Next
it?
week and come next week again. I'm so tired.
Are you want to say?
I said Jesus, pray to Almighty God to save from the hour. And when he was even on the cross, according to you, he cried. Why was he crying, blaming God? You were blaming God, I'm saying. So
because
this
you never
crucifixion.
You don't finish the verses. That's your
Well,
problem.
finish it. Then finish it.
No,
Put it
you
on.
should finish it. I finish it. You should finish it.
Finish it then. Explain to me. Finish it.
But for this cause came I unto this hour. See? So for the cause of dying he came.
For the what?
So finish the verse. That's why he came.
For the cause of what?
This cause.
Yeah. Because he said it. For this cause what? Say it again.
No, for this cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, came I unto this hour.
But why is it save me? Why is it save me? It doesn't make contradictory. What's Allah saying? And he's saying that.
No, he's telling them.
But he said it. He answered the Father. What is the Father saving for this hour? What is man? Father, save me from this hour.
No,
now my heart is troubled.
No,
but you're not making sense.
No, you don't understand what he says.
Simple word. God can be man. You can.
That's not what we're talking about.
This is plain English. No, look. Jesus said, now my heart is troubled. Yeah. What's Allah say? Question mark. He's asking. What's Allah say? Yeah. Father, save me from this hour. Why did he say that in the first place?
No, you don't understand the way he's talking, the way it's been translated.
Okay, that's it. You understand, that's it. That is why, look,
No,
you read the Bible, you read the Bible. Look, you read the Bible, you know, your explanation of certainty is different from Trinitarians. You say you don't believe in Trinity. So who is the true follower of Jesus? For us, we all know Allah is one Lord, every Muslim. Yeah, but you are confused. You are confused. Christianity is confused. We don't know. The Bible you have here was not written by Jesus.
But Muslims are confused as well.
No, why are we confused about God?
God? No, because who's in the Kaaba?
No. Who is the Kaaba? Who is the Kaaba? Tell me.
Who's in the? No, I'm asking you.
No, nobody's there in the Kaaba. Who is the Kaaba?
Oh, so why do you pray towards it?
Who said we pray to? Who said we? You know, it's a point of direction towards it. Direction.
Yeah,
no Muslim.
But isn't Allah in heaven?
It's a point. Look, you know, wait a minute. Let me say. You know, unanimity. Every person. You're not listening to me.
Yeah, because you don't listen to
You're
me.
unanimous. Muslims don't pray everywhere or dance or we have certain everywhere. Muslim.
Yeah,
Let me tell you, we point to the same direction. No. A direction, and then when we pray, we say the same thing. Not like you, not like you all.
But I put my head on the floor. How you want me to put it like that? Just tell me. It makes sense.
No, I'm saying.
Does that make sense?
No, I'm saying the direction doesn't
Kaaba
make sense.
is a
Because
look,
God,
direction makes sense.
No,
a Kaaba,
Allah's
no.
not there.
Listen,
He's up there.
Did
So
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us he is there?
Is it there?
Who
told you that?
Wait. Which Muslim he believe Allah is there? Which Muslim?
Thank you.
Give me a name.
Well, I don't know a name, but I think a lot of them.
But you're not making sense.
No.
No, because Allah.
Wait.
Allah's in heaven, isn't he?
Look. Listen.
Yeah.
Show me a Muslim who believe, who he knows, there in Kaaba there is Allah. Yalla, go ahead.
Well, can you show me one who doesn't?
This they call it shifting of the burden of the proof. You know that?
Yeah,
No, it's because.
No.
You said Allah's in
Can
heaven.
you tell me? Huh?
Allah's in heaven as far as you're concerned, isn't it?
No, we not believe that Allah is in
Who said he's in heaven? Tell me.
Is Allah's not in heaven?
No, it's not in
See,
heaven.
this is the problem.
That's
They don't
very
know.
strange.
You don't exactly. You're going to ask the Muslims. See.
Okay, all right.
You speak about Kaaba and I say Allah is in heaven.
So this is a new Islam then. I'll have to ask some
It's
other
not
Muslims.
no.
All right, let me check with some other Muslims to see what they say.
Allah is not in His creation. It's above His. He's not in His creation like you Christians believe in.
That's not the heaven I'm talking about. I'm talking about the sky.
I'm talking about the sky. Yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Creation, no?
I'm not talking about the sky.
Sky is not creation.
All right, so
the sky is not a creation.
No, so what do you? So you don't call it heaven where Allah is. What do you call it then?
Okay, brother. May Allah
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above everything. Anything
All right,
you imagine in your head, He is different.
Right.
You can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say He's in heaven, who is in here, who is here in earth. That is not exist in teaching, Islamic teaching, and Islamic belief.
Okay, fine. So is Allah above
He's omnipotent, omniscient.
All right, yeah,
He needs knowledge. He sees us. He needs knowledge. He knows everything. But He's not in His creation. I believe.
That means if I pray this direction, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is here, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said,
أينما تولوا وجوهكم فثم وجه الله. Wherever you direct your face, there is Allah. That means I put it here, I put it here, I put it here, I put it here, I put it here. For example, we Muslim, if I didn't, let's say I'm in the place, I don't know where is Qibla. Where is Kaaba?
Can pray
I
anywhere.
pray this way,
Anyway, yeah.
that means I pray.
Anywhere I can pray.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't have to go.
It's
Yeah.
not important.
If I don't know.
But we pray in one direction because unity.
Exactly.
This
is
Muslim,
called
how to
universal
unite.
brotherhood. Yeah, we are not like you, like yeah. You go get Jesus Lord. You dance and do everything in church.
But any direction except for Allah up above. Okay, I get you.
The Quran.
Explain to me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He ordered me to prostrate, to put my head in the floor. That means my ego, my high part, non-ego, I put it in the floor, in the dust. Okay?
Right.
Now tell me, how, and He, like you believe, you said He is in the sky. How you want me to put my head in the floor to Him?
No, I'm talking about direction. So because He's above, you don't have to go in a specific direction.
I told you He's wherever.
Yeah, so all this Qibla thing, you can cancel it and
Okay,
just pray in
brother,
any
you have
direction.
1 hour. You have 1 hour.
He is the one who taught me that is direction.
Right, so it's Allah who's confused then. Okay.
Allah is confused. How is he confused?
Well, because He knows He's above, so He should have told you just pray to me above.
But
so,
He
so
wants me to prostrate. How can I do? How can I pray to above? You see, you
no,
don't
but
make
that's
sense.
why you should become a Christian, man. It's more simpler.
Huh?
Without God, it's a lot more simple.
I will not worship. I will not worship a God who go to the toilet. That is not make
No,
sense.
our God doesn't go toilet. What's wrong with you?